even when they hurt. You wanna feel, wanna fall in love, wanna give it all up, but you don't want to lose your control. Are we playing this game? Oh, are we playing this game? Are you too afraid, or are you giving in? Let the games begin, 'cause I play to win.
To be free, far from what I was led to believe. No holding back, I've made up my mind. Seeing what's next, I'm not sure what I'll find. Holding the key firmly in my hands. I'm looking forward, I know where I stand. And this is it, I've nothing to lose. Now is the right time, I'm making my move. can feel it rushing through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now we feel that we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel it for you inside. So there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Let the silhouette cast upon your heart, turning every little moment into scars. Baby, it's our chance to make a start, so we can fly.
I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we.
I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel it for you inside. So there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Paralyze my heart. Don't wanna feel your touch like ice tracing all my scars. Why is it hurt on the inside? It's unforgivable, but I forgive you every time. Hard to let it go, 'cause we're intertwined. I break you, you break me, but something about that makes us so, baby. Every piece keeps us together in the core. I break you, you break me, holding our love in chains of gold.
into the night. The city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling stronger, and I know I can do better. The shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Open your eyes and see the people chanting, slowly falling apart. The silence causing an earthquake. I'm wishing upon a star. This time I'm feeling higher, and I know I can be taller. Shadows causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the light. We're gonna light it up, oh, light it up, ooh, light it up, causing an outbreak. I'm turning the lights on. Ooh, I've been creeping under your skin for so long. Oh, I am in your head, so tell me, is it wrong? Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. You fell under my spell now. Oh, I swear you fell, I swear, I swear. You fell under my spell now. Oh, I swear.
Gentlemen, a very warm welcome to week number 3 of the European Rocket League Rivals Series. My name is Lottie Van Prague and I am your desk host for this Rivals Series. And joining me I have two fantastic gentlemen, some fine gents looking very dapper in their suits as usual every week. I have Turtle and James Spot with me. Lovely to have you back, guys, on the desk. Week 3, we're really in the midst of it right now.
Yeah.
I'm super excited to see where teams are at. But how has your week been?
I look, every time we come to the Rival Series, I am hesitating because I don't know what I'm going to expect. I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't know how I'm going to get proven wrong, but it's going to happen. I'm going to be wrong so much today. It's just bound to happen.
You know, all week I was just looking forward to the weekend. Now we're here. The reason I'm looking forward to it is because we get to see Rival Series, and tomorrow we have RLCS. So Rocket League just getting into the thick of it. And if you weren't watching the RLCS, basically the big three died. A huge storyline. Even Vitality was getting dunked on. So in the Rival Series, we're seeing similar things. ARG, a team that was top 3 previously, now not even in the top 4. So lots of action. Fun times.
There really is, and we're only halfway through, but TGIF, am I right? Because we love Friday here at the Rivals Series, of course. It's our day to shine. But we have some exciting things coming up, and of course our teams have been very busy through all of our weeks so far, finding out where they are on the standings, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing right now. As you can see at the top of the leaderboard, not changing too much here. Discombobulators still with that really nice score, 4-1. And of course, right at the bottom there, we've got Team Echo Zulu. Method in 3rd position. Gentlemen, what changes have we seen so far through the weeks? What is going to be surprising people with some of these changes in the standings?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm already surprised at Discombobulators holding the #1 spot already. You know, we have teams like Method and Monaco who have RLCS experience on their team, and yet Discombobulators, they come out of nowhere. They don't really have any Rival Series experience, and now they're the only team that's 4-1.
Yeah, I picked against them that first week against Baguette Squad, and they really surprised me with how well they were playing, and they kept it up, 4-1. They did lose to AS Monaco, who is 2nd place, and that is a team that we were expecting. So a little bit of what we were expecting, a few surprises, which are always fun.
Oh, they're always so fun. And I mean, last week for me was probably one of my favorite weeks because, I mean, there was so much action. We had game 5s, we had game 4s, but like going down to the wire as well in the series. So I really want to see more of that this week. I think that we've got the best yet to come, gents. I really do. But you're probably wondering, actually, maybe how does the Rival Series work? If you're new with us, then welcome. Lovely to have you with us. But as you can see here on the screen, we have 2 opportunities for teams to be going into the RLCS. Now, teams finishing 3rd and 4th will have to play the last final 2 from the RLCS. And that's going to be a really big task in itself there, gentlemen, because that is a new league in itself. These guys are of pro level, but the 2 teams that drop down, I mean, it's not too hard of a feat for these guys in the Rival Series. They've proven themselves throughout all of these weeks. How are the chances when they do get to that position? How do they fare? I
mean, I think they're pretty high because, James, you just talked about it. The floor above the Rival Series right now is on fire. Everything is just chaos.
It's true, but you know, it's the 3rd and 4th. Traditionally, you have the top 2 teams out of Rival Series playing. So 3 and 4 going up against RLCS teams. It's going to be a battle.
It is indeed. And of course, we also have some cash prizes happening too. It's not always all about the money, but it's not bad either, is it? First place, we've got $13,000. Second, $10,000. And third place, respectively, at $9,000 and so on. Pretty incredible for a couple of weeks' work.
Yeah.
Something that you love because, I mean, that's what it's all about here, gentlemen. It's belonging in a career and trying to get to that next step in the pro level of Rocket League. And dreams are going to be had, hopefully, at the end of the day, because our 1 and 2 teams are going to be making it to the RLCS, so that's really exciting too. So what do we think so far? It's week number 3. We've had some incredible teams. We've got an amazing lineup today, which we will go into shortly. But are we looking to see some upsets here today, Turtle?
I mean, you can't have Rival Series weekend without upsets. I don't think it's possible to even have that as a question, right?
Well, I mean, in Rocket League this weekend, upsets have kind of been the theme.
Yeah.
But we have a top 4 matchup right out of the gate. To me, it's not even an upset either way. It's more of going to be who's going to win.
Yeah.
You know, the AS Monaco losing to Echo Zulu, that was an upset. So
I don't even know how that happened. I was looking at the records and I watched some of that game. I was so confused about it. That's just how the Rival Series kind of works. And we saw it earlier where the play styles, one game will be a blowout of one team, then the next team just takes it themselves and goes 8-0 as well. It's crazy.
So anything can happen. You said it yourself.
Anything can happen. I mean, the bottom of the standings right now, causing upsets, that's That's scary in itself. Scary in itself. Let's take a look at our schedule for today and see what we have in store for you guys. Match number 1, we have the guys on the top of the leaderboard, Discombobulators taking on Flomp Rizon. Then after that, we have RCD Espanyol taking on these upsetters, Team Echo Zulu. And then Team Vertex takes on Method. And to finish things off for Europe, we got ARG versus AS Monaco.
Yeah.
So really exciting stuff. I'm very interested to see match number 2 now because, you know, if Team Echo Zulu really did upset in that form, I mean, who knows? They could be adding to that win-loss ratio a little bit more this week. So that's super exciting. But Discombobulators, we have to talk about the first matchup here. They really have come out of the gates hot through this rival series against Flomp Rizon, who we have seen perform really well too. It's just for me, Discombobulators, they were that dark horse of the tournament, and they very quickly become one of the favorites.
Oh, they certainly have, and all of them contributing equally. All 3 of these players in the top 9 in scoring, averaging over 0.7 goals a game. And if you watch their games, they're just working as a unit.
Yeah.
All of them, it reminds me of We Dem Girls way back in the day, where you just have that triple threat. There is not really one player who's going to stand out and carry the team. They're all involved, all making the plays, which makes them that much more deadly.
And the thing that I noticed about them was their corner play. I thought that every time they fed the ball into the corner, they would somehow manage to win a challenge and then get a pass out over across the backboard. I think that's the thing that they do great, and I'm excited to see what kind of match we get, because we got basically top 2 contenders here for this matchup, and Flomp as well. I mean, they're a nutty team. I think that it's going to be incredibly close.
Absolutely.
It is indeed. We did actually see Flomp Rizon in a match 5 actually last week against Underwater, and unfortunately they did lose that one. How are they going to manage to try and improve on their mistakes this week? I mean, it's week 3. They really need to start showing what they're made of. If they're coming up against Discombobulators, who we can see their score, it reads for itself. So what do they now need to do to come up here and be a team like Discombobulators?
Well, they can't afford to be flat.
Yeah.
We saw them last week where the games were so back and forth, where the games they lost, they were like getting shut out.
Yeah.
But the games they won, they were playing really well offensively. So it makes you wonder which version of Flomp Rizon are we going to get.
I mean, Godzilla was the guy in the 3rd rotation kind of doing a lot of the work. And then Noli and Tho finished that series off for Flomp winning that game.
He's the offensive threat.
Yeah.
To me, he is the offensive threat.
And it was the shots from the ceiling that he would go up with. The clutch goals. Game 5, it was all about Tho.
Absolutely. Well, gentlemen, it leaves us to go on to predictions now, because this is another little competition that we have amongst ourselves every
Who's winning?
week. I don't know.
I think I am.
Is it you?
I think Lottie is. I don't know. She had that first weekend.
I think you're right.
I had a pretty good first week.
You did.
I've been miserable, so.
I don't know where I'm at, because I definitely didn't have a clean record last week. So we'll see. But Turtle, I'm gonna start with you, of course.
I'm going Flomp. I trust in them. I think, Discombobulators, they came out of nowhere, but Flomp, I love Godzilla. I think that he's a really solid third end. And then if I see the same performance from Tho at the end of the series, I think they're going to close it out.
Well, they lost to Vertex, whose only win in the season came from Flomp Rizon.
Yeah.
And so I am going to pick Discombobulators.
Okay.
I discounted them that first week, even though I liked what I saw from them in the replays. Can't bet against them now. Going with Discombobulators.
You definitely can't. I couldn't be more going towards what you're thinking there, James, because these guys are not to be messed with. That is something we have seen so far in all of the weeks of Rival Series.
Definitely.
And I'm going to have to go with Discombobulators too. But you guys mentioned these 2 could be contenders for this.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Position. How would they fare against some of the other teams that we're also seeing coming up through the weeks and through the ranks? Are we seeing Discombobulators right at the top of that leaderboard staying there, or do we see some of the other teams kind of trying to come up and move their way up that board and take it from them?
I don't know. I think this late in the Rival Series, you really start, especially this is the 3rd week right now on broadcast air. And I think that's when you see the defining weekend. So everybody who's at the top really has the confidence, and it's almost like, because they've been steamrolling, it's really time for them just to take away the whole season. It's usually a trend that we see with the teams.
Yeah, we've seen 7-0 a few times, but obviously more teams this time. But Discombobulators, out of all the teams I've seen play on stream, I do have a lot of confidence in these players, because they have all been playing well.
Yeah.
It hasn't just been one player stepping up in a key series at a key time. They just continue to play well as a team.
And that's what we need, teamwork. And that's exactly what we have here to make the dream work. So I'm pretty comfortable handing this one over to you guys for the first match of the day. So please take it away.
Thank you, Lottie. And Turtle,
we're back.
I can't believe you picked against me again.
I'm sorry. Every time we pick against each other, in the middle of the series, I swear we're like, can we change picks? No. One of us is always asking.
Me. It's always. Well, actually, sometimes I try.
I think usually it's me. It's a back and forth, especially with what is a top 2 contender game. game right now. Excuse me.
It's okay.
I'm getting choked up over here.
It's all that
because
coffee in the mug.
I know, it really is.
But, it's okay. We're going to get started in these games. And right out of the gate, we're already in. So, off kickoff, Godsmilla attacking the corner, relating wave there to assist. Noli, backboard pass attempt, but no one there from Flomp. Noli attempting to pass that in. Challenge from Tho. Virtuoso just taking his time. You saw him calling off relating wave there as well. Noli dodging that demo, trying to get that boost and get out of dodge. Pass over to Godsmilla. That one off the crossbar again up high. Nachito will send that out. Now center ball for Noli. Noli blocked out by relating wave, and now the clear from Nachito.
And James, I agree with you. I think both these teams, there's not one player who were kind of waiting to make mistakes. All three of them can pop off and show, their abilities at any second.
But the pressure from Flomp has been overwhelming now. Yeah. Relating wave attempting to clear it. A hit up by Noli over to Godsmilla. Godsmilla will hit this down. So we'll see if Discombobulators can break out of their half.
Yeah.
Finally starting to get some momentum. Good speed from Godsmilla. We'll get it up to Tho. Tho aiming for the backboard, and a scary moment for Nachito, as he leaves that for Virtuoso to get the clear. Good stop from Nachito. He'll stay on this ball. A challenge with throw incoming. Gets it by one. Godsmilla turns. The challenge is back to Tho. Tho popping it up. Going for this shot. And he gets it by the Discombobulators defense.
And Tho cleaning up again. Look at this 50 right now. What a challenge from Godsmilla. Laying it perfectly for Tho. He's got an easy flick. So much time. And again, Tho the clutch maker to finish out a lot of these shots.
And, it's just another situation where that Dominus being flat allowed him to get enough height on that ball.
I mean, I don't even know.
Follow-up
do you think he would have gotten that with the Octane?
It's tough to say. I mean, I don't use the Octane. I use the Merc. But it is the same hitbox, so I don't know. Because I feel like a bigger car, it's not going to pop up as high. Yeah. He's not going to be able to get the height on the shot. It's an easier challenge.
It's a bold move using the Merc, James.
I'm proud of it. Now a miss hit down, but Tho stay with it. Relating wave. Pops it up. Tho in the air is going to center it to a teammate. Double commit from Discombobulators. Nachito down to the corner. Noli. Good control in the corner. And then that chance over to Godsmilla. Noli making a play right there.
It's good patience. In the rival series, I feel like it's really easy to give into that kickball mentality and just try and clear it as much as you can. You got a lot of time and space on the field. How are you going to make use of it? But what a demo from Discombobulators.
And Virtuoso, he misses the ball, gets the demo, then he missed the boost. So Virtuoso, a little bit of a struggle moment for him.
Yeah.
Center ball down to Tho. Tho blocked by Virtuoso. Pinch pass into the middle attempted. Virtuoso also gets the boost steal. Just trying to get in the way, and he is. Center up ball. Godsmilla's there. Relating wave. Got back to the net in time. He was waiting for that. Clear to the side. Flomp has been so good at preventing the Discombobulators counterattack, keeping them locked into their half.
And I think a big factor of that is Noli, the touches and placements he's getting for just controlling the ball, having a calm defensive state of mind is perfect.
Yeah, we saw him make that pass into the middle to Godsmilla when he controlled it in the corner.
Yeah.
Certainly looking sharp. Again, Godsmilla there for Flomp. Ball floating out into the middle. Noli pops it up for Tho. Tho off the ceiling and down. It goes backwards. It pinches off of him. Chance for Discombobulators. Godsmilla sends it to the corner. Noli there gets full boost. But Nachito with the challenge, bouncing out to the middle. A big clear from Godsmilla.
Follow.
And now a demo. The shot towards net saved by Relating Wave. Flomp has continued to batter the net, and they finally break through 2-0 with under a minute left.
I mean, after the demo, the constant pressure, Flomp, just what rotations to come through. Noli, easy finish off. He's the third man rotating in. And so far, the pressure has been overwhelming right now for Discombobulators.
It certainly has been. So many opportunities for Flomp Rison.
Yeah.
Now we're relating wave up. Godsmilla gets to it first. Another pop-up. Godsmilla on the backboard. Clearing it off the ceiling. Gets another touch, and Tho bails him out. Nachito up to Virtuoso. Noli off the backboard to Tho. Tho just missing his shot. Follow-up from Godsmilla. That one deflected off the defender and went in.
Whether he meant to fake it or not, Tho didn't get the hit. But I mean, you're discombobulated. You gotta go for a stop. Godsmilla with an easy follow-up. They just assumed he was gonna hit it, and they're running away with this game.
I mean, this is over. Flomp has put their foot down.
Yeah.
Game 1.
James, would you like to change your pick yet?
From what I saw last week, it's very likely that Discombobulators will win game 2.
Yeah.
Very heavily.
Look at that.
And what on earth?
Oh my goodness.
Even if you remember the 2 Discombobulators games that we saw, as Flomp Rison gets the win, they always had a slow start in game 1. So
definitely.
that just might be their MO. But Flomp Rison looked very good comparatively. You can see there, 9 shots to just 2.
Yeah. I mean, we barely saw any pressure from Discombobulators. No midfield passing. All the clears were pretty stagnant. And Flomp were doing a great job of rotating in and having somebody come in as that third man for the finishing shot every single time there was a punishing opportunity.
Yeah, great challenges as well.
Yeah.
We even saw that 50-50 that led to that one goal by Tho, where he comes in and pops up the ball, goes for the shot, gets it over the defender. And then you also called it out. Noli just looking confident.
Definitely.
Getting the control plays, getting the passes out, and all around, Flomp looking much better than Discombobulators.
Everybody getting involved, and like Noli, it wasn't just, being calm. It was the little touches. Even when he's running back on defense, he managed to get the tiny little touches to keep possession and get a better 50. So all in all, the defense was superb, and they just never had a lot of pressure or force on them because their clears were too good.
Yeah, so Discombobulators have a lot to figure out.
Yeah.
Getting shut out this game, not really even having an opportunity to score. There was a missed touch that I remember off the ceiling in front of the net, but Tho was just so fast, he got up there and cleared the ball out anyway.
Definitely.
So not even really any serious scoring opportunities for Discombobulators. They're going to have to go back to the drawing board for game 2.
Yeah. And we saw pretty much no passes come out from them. There was no possession game for them. It was really more or less, how can I just get this ball and alleviate the pressure? They weren't looking for that next step.
And we also saw just some misses. Virtuoso, he missed the hit.
Yeah.
He missed the boost. He still got the demo on that play. But Discombobulators not as sharp as we've seen them before.
Yeah.
See if anything changes in game 2. Though, off the wall. Godsmilla getting challenged by a 0 boost relating wave out into the middle. A demo from Godsmilla. Nachito. Little greedy. Wanted to get the boost and the ball. Ended up only getting boost on that play. And Tho trying to hit that mid-air pass. And then, he tries to save it on the flip back. Just a hair's width away from the save.
It was a good idea, just not communicated well. Noli going for it. And that was the little touches on the defensive end that I thought they were doing great with. But when you're not communicating it, that's when it can be a problem.
So getting shut out game 1. Having that struggle, then they come out hot.
I mean, you were right, James. Discombobulators, let's see if they can pick it up. Could have been just a little warm-up game to Discombobulators roster that is going to start, picking things up and connecting passes.
We will see, and only time will tell. As that play from Noli gets blocked. Virtuoso flipping it by Godsmilla, 0 boost, going for the challenge. It kicks it across. Good play from Virtuoso. You can see relating wave dumping that ball into the corner. Virtuoso has to turn for it. Still on 0 boost, finally getting the corner boost. All boosted up, ready to make the play. Virtuoso upfield. Hits it by, it's going to bounce out to relating wave. Nachito racing to it. It's going to bail out. Does turn and get the stop. Noli full boost. Going for a big clear, relating wave stops it. Going for a second touch. Gets the dunk down, it's going to bounce out. Into the corner, low boost for Godsmilla. Noli's the last hope. Godsmilla dodging a bump there. This one bouncing off the backboard, has to go off the ceiling. That was his only option. He was so low on boost. Going for the height. Godsmilla, heads up play on defense to get that clear.
And the pressure is on right now for Discombobulators. A huge difference from the first game. starting to look for each other with clears, passing, and their corner play has been on par with what I've seen throughout the entire season so far for them.
And that one's off a challenge, just rolling in. Turtle, break it down.
I don't know how he got you expect me to break down this 50 right now. I mean, he just challenged it at the perfect angle, and you got to feel right now, if you're Flomp, that's a frustrating challenge to lose.
But at the same time, you just have to be aware where the net is.
Yeah.
And off kickoff, Virtuoso denies though. And a center ball, Noli, a split second away from making that connection. So Flomp Resont, they're having some chances.
Definitely.
But still not able to connect. And that net seemed vulnerable. You even saw there Virtuoso knew that a defender was going to get back, so he tried to just keep possession. Relating waves up. Hits it right to Tho, who puts it off the backboard. Virtuoso has to make the save, and he can. A perfectly placed shot from Noli.
And talk about the pass from Tho. What positioning to read the defensive clear, then Noli, the speed to get up there, and you can't find better placement than that.
You can't block that. He saw Virtuoso on the near side of the net. He goes far post, top corner.
Yeah.
You can't stop that.
And Tho was in the position immediately waiting the response. Great play from him.
So really enjoyed what I've seen so far from Flomp, especially on the offensive side of the ball. However, Discombobulators still in the lead. Pass upfield to Tho. Tho going for the double tap, but Nachito will cut it out. Godsmilla off the backboard. Virtuoso up, passes over to Relating Wave, who sends it downfield. Virtuoso can't get to the ball in time, and Tho clears it over to Godsmilla. Noli up off the ceiling. Godsmilla perhaps looking for a demo or a bump there. Ends up rotating out. Virtuoso high hit. Tho denies the backboard. More backboard attack. Godsmilla there. Another demo. And Tho able to get there.
And physical play coming out from Discombobulators as well. Just throwing off the defensive rotation right now of Flomp. You're noticing they can't get any pressure. That's just because they don't have the boost or the positioning from these demos.
And the demos were a big factor last week in the RLCS, especially in North America.
Yeah.
Demos becoming such a key part of the game as another demo happens on Tho from Virtuoso. Virtuoso, last back, gonna have to make a good play and a big clear. That one off the ceiling, down to Godsmilla, who attempted to pass it, and now the ball leaking out to Tho. Tho missing that shot, instead going for the pass, but no one was there in the middle. Tho, 8 boost, enough to get a hit. Nachito clearing it off to the side. Noli first to it. Center ball. Godsmilla. Godsmilla off the backboard. Tho, the shot, and that one off the post and in. Flomp tie it up.
Tho, again, the cleanup from this man has been amazing. Godsmilla, he could have finished it right there, but he just hit it wide. And Tho, following through, he is so clutch for this Flomp team.
You said it, Game 5. Huge performance from him last week to close out the series, and in Game 2 late, another big play. Noli pushing this down, and Discombobulators, the final attack! They do it! 7 seconds on the clock. Relating Wave threads the needle.
Just when I thought the momentum might have been switching, Relating Wave comes through with a great ceiling pass from Nachito. And they might run away with it. I mean, there's 7 seconds left. They got to have a solid kickoff here from Flomp.
Noli wins it back to Tho. But Tho is demoed. He trades. Nachito just trying to take his time. It does hit the wall. It will stay up. No boost for Virtuoso.
Good touch.
Kept in the air. Virtuoso hitting it to some free space, and Discombobulators sneak away with a win. I thought they were about to give that one away.
I agree. I mean, if you look at the quality of shots, I thought that Flomp really had a lot of creative hits, great passing, but then Discombobulators, that third goal was the best for them, you know, connecting a ceiling hit and then finally having a good follow-up at the end of the game. You know, they're back in the series for sure, and I think this is more of the Discombobulators we're used to.
Yeah, Discombobulators, they came back. I mean, this was just a 1-goal game. And you think back to that challenge goal where I believe it was Tho who challenged the player on Discombobulators. The ball just leaks into the net. That was the difference. And Flomp, to me, is looking offensively like the better team.
I agree.
They have much more threatening opportunities. Yeah. They've narrowly missed out on a couple chances. And even at the end, stepping up to even tie it up in those final seconds. Yeah. However, Discombobulators, they continue to find ways to win. And if they play like this, the series, they can get back in their favor. Yeah. However, Flomp still looks solid.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be scary if they can just seal up those little mistakes. Like you said, it just came down to a little bit of a challenge, a good demo, good physical play from Discombobulators. But overall, I thought the mechanics were better from Flomp. But it comes down to if you're not going to make that hit, that clear from the defensive end, then there's no way, no matter how great your offense is, to win the series.
Yeah, defense, such a critical part of the game. But still, Discombobulators in Game 1, they were kept in their own half almost the entirety of the game.
And they broke out.
Yeah, and they broke out this game. So it's a different series so far. But what we saw from Flomp last week was a lot of back and forth. We'll see if that same theme plays out here today. Though, over to the corner. Virtuoso battling. Nachito goes for the backward pass. Also gets in Tho's way. Relating wave with the demo. A big pop-up into the middle. Virtuoso off the backboard. And a clear out. Discombobulators on the attack. Relating wave. That one denied by Noli. Still looked like it might have been just a touch high. But the pressure from Discombobulators insane right now. The demo, the center relating wave. No one back. And Discombobulators overwhelm Flomp Reson, get the goal.
I mean, that was just 38 seconds of sheer pressure and resilience from Discombobulators, constantly rotating in, beating out every single challenge. And for the part of the first part of this game, it was literally just only them touching the ball.
And that has to be frustrating.
Yeah.
I know when I'm playing and there's a team that is just in my half and doesn't let up and they're demoing me, I get a little upset.
And they even were having solid defense from Flomp. They managed to get a few saves in, but it just wasn't enough.
Off the ceiling, Virtuoso getting a slight hit. That one being challenged off a defender. Godsmilla will get full boost, gets it by one. We'll see if he can get by another. Going for the pass. No, he's going for the shot. You saw the demo play. Too committed. Numbers advantage briefly. As that chip shot is turned aside by Noli. And you see there a demo play actually backfiring a little bit.
Yeah.
It didn't connect. So those plays aren't without risk.
There's a lot of midfield space right now for Discombobulators. I feel like all of Flomp are really deep in their defensive end. And it's just giving them time and space to run away with it. And the demo comes through. Nachito, he's going to finish it off.
Is this the Pittsburgh Knights? What's going on? You see there the pass down attempt. Virtuoso with the demo. And Tho was actually smoke screened. He was right behind that demo. He couldn't see where the ball was coming from. And also, he had just jumped off backward, so who knows how much boost he even had.
Physical play. Huge factor right now for Discombobulators. And they're the only team right now doing it, Flomp. Sometimes you just got to fight fire with fire.
And you see Virtuoso having full faith in Nachito to get that ball. Didn't even jump for it. Discombobulators looking in form. Nachito taking his time, pops it high. He'll stay with it. Hard hit off the corner, was actually towards net. Relating wave. The challenge, another demo, center ball. No, it's a shot off the backboard. And now clear downfield to Godsmilla. Godsmilla. And now Noli taking over. How many demos are on the screen right now? Everyone was gone except for Noli right there. I think he might have been the only car on the field.
And it was two demos coming out from Discombobulators, and Noli's just like, what happened to my team right now? And yet, Discombobulators, they could not find any pressure or connection through it.
Virtuoso. Tho and Relating Wave both running into each other, so starting to get more aggressive on both sides. We might have to send in the ref.
That's what I want to see right now from Flomp. Respond to the aggression from Discombobulators.
Ball back to the middle. Shot opportunity. It was a weak one back to Relating Wave. Center ball to Tho. Tho The strong shot, but it was just off, and Relating Wave was able to get the clear. Noli touches it by Nachito, who's out of boost. He'll be out of the play for a little bit. Turns for this ball, and he'll get out. Double commit. Shot towards net. Counterattack opportunity, but a big challenge there from, who was that?
Nachito.
Nachito. Big play to slow down the counterattack.
Yeah, and the hesitation, no hesitation at all from Nachito, even with 2 players of his double committing, still getting the pressure in. Great play from him.
Flomp have been shut down. Time is running out.
Yeah.
We're approaching that final minute of gameplay, and it's all Discombobulators. Godsmilla had to block that one off the arc. Good pass down to Noli, but again blocked out by Virtuoso. The vision's there for Flomp, but Discombobulator has the same vision. They're cutting these passes out.
Yeah.
Virtuoso, a double commit, and he's got no boost. Numbers advantage.
Follow.
Taking the wide shot. This one off that elbow and out. Godsmilla. That had to be a goal. That was the chance for Flomp.
And I love the patience from Tho as well to try and get around the ball, but he just got too much of it.
You just have to finish those. We saw the double commit in the corner by Discombobulators.
Another chance.
And again, stopped out by Virtuoso. The first touch control on the back wall. Nachito getting in front of Noli. Goal back to Noli. Noli dropping it down. Godsmilla getting a piece of it, but final 10 seconds. Time running out. And it's not going to be enough time. Discombobulators, despite that mistake in the last minute, still pull through and get the shutout against Flomp in Game 3.
And they do it through physical fashion. I mean, the demos, like you said, at one point, it felt like there was almost everybody from Flomp gone off the field. We saw a little bit of response from them with the physical play.
It almost felt like a Rumble game. You get the power-up that just lets you hit the ball really hard to demo people. It seemed like all of
everybody just had that one.
Had that one.
Yeah,
they were running through them like a hot knife through butter.
And and you compared them to the Knights, and that's something I wanted to bring up to you right now was, I mean, are we seeing more physical play because of the Knights and RLCS being that aggressive play style and maybe starting a new trend for a lot of these teams?
I just think it's the evolution of gameplay.
Yeah.
Once players start to become so good at defense, one way to guarantee they don't get a touch on the ball is to just delete them from the field. And the way you do that is bumps and demos. It's a difficult thing to pull off. You saw Garrett G even tweet about it last week that going for bumps and demos it's not an easy thing to do. You have to hit it. Also, you're risking your positioning. So it's a high-risk maneuver, but in some situations you can mitigate that risk. Like if you know that a team has no boost, or if all 3 players are in net, or if you just made a play and you're the only one up, you have some opportunities to go for it. And we're seeing more and more teams take the opportunity every single time.
Yeah, and it's really about the timing and the positioning. You know, as the aggressor, sometimes if you do go for the demo, like you said, it's hard to pull off because then you're so far up, you can't rotate back, and you left your teammates alone on defense.
And we saw that happen to Flomp Mersan.
Yeah.
They went for that play where they had somebody go in for the demo, and it didn't connect, and then they had overextended. They didn't get scored on, but it's not a 100% move. You can't just press the demo button to get the win.
I mean, maybe they should add that in. That'd be a nice.
That would be a horrible idea. Please never apply to work at Epic or Thanos. Nachito gets that ball out, and this one Noli, key hit there to deny backboard. So, and you can see Relating Wave gets the demo on Godsmilla right as Godsmilla got the boost, and now a long clear. We're already seeing demos from both sides. Nachito getting a demo on Noli.
I mean, back and forth. But right now, Discombobulators, they just start the trend of being physical and then have a great play to follow it up. And they're just running around the field. And here's a shot right now. So many chances. Lots of space for Discombobulators.
And now a chance for Godsmilla. That one saved by Relating Wave. A huge save. That one was going to find the back of the net had he not gotten in the way.
And one thing I've noticed,
another demo. The insurance premiums must be insane this season.
I mean, think of all the shots from Flomp are blazing fast, and yet Discombobulators, they get the save, and the shots are so literally frequent because there's just so many physical plays and demos.
You feel for Flomp. Virtuoso cutting out the play. Another attempt. Virtuoso staying in the play there with low boost and still got that clear. Good communication. The touch off the backboard. It's up for Nachito. Puts it off the backboard again. Relating wave in position. Takes another shot. This one off the backboard as well. Discombobulators. It's an all-out assault right now. Virtuoso positioning for the challenge. It kicks back to Relating wave. He's up. Though good speed. It's dropping back down to the middle. Nachito denied by Godsmilla. Nachito again. The shot towards net. And Noli hits it off to the side to Though, and the double demo. Godsmilla's the last back, looking for help. He can't find it, and Discombobulators get the first goal.
The double demo into an insane angle. Look at Relating wave. That's a hard shot to pull off. I thought he was going to go for the pass, but he manages to get the angle. And right now, it's a train wreck for Flomp.
Love it or hate it, the demo meta is here, and it's working.
I mean, okay, single demo
that was
meta.
A beautiful
That's
shot
great.
As well. That was, yeah, a single player double demo into that.
That's like a new meta in itself.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. But then the dunk's going to roll right back towards net. Flomp tie it up.
I mean, Discombobulators, they got a little bit too confident here. 2 players up right now for Flomp, and Godsmilla gets a perfect challenge just to feed it right into the goal.
And that's an excellent way to stop the momentum from Discombobulators, who were just going nuts. But that dunk right there might cool them off. Yeah, and it might cool them off. And I thought Virtuoso was going to go for another demo there, opting to hit the ball instead. A rare decision. Shot towards net, turned aside, bouncing out to the middle, Though. Good shot. That one slotted upper 90. What a shot.
He has been so consistent, Though, the finisher right now for Flomp. And just getting around the defender, beautifully upper 90 placed. You can't get any better than that. Though has been just so fundamental with shots.
It's been surgical. A player that can just get the goals when you need them. That little floater there by Virtuoso opening up a shot opportunity for Relating wave, but now the ball was cleared out. Virtuoso there. Nachito, can he get to the ball in time? Yes, he can! The passing play from Discombobulators.
Using that midfield space that Discombobulators have done so well and executed it perfectly. Nachito, even if the pass was a little bit forward, there was no defensive rotation from Flomp to get any kind of interception.
Discombobulators answering right back. This one going to bounce hard and down and almost getting read by Nachito. Though jumping right in time. Nachito looking for that corner boost steal. Noli. The clear. A bump from Nachito in net. Virtuoso. Over to Godsmilla. Godsmilla, a hard hit, but Relating wave clears it. Nachito dodging the demo from Godsmilla as well. Center ball. Kicks back. Virtuoso off the ceiling, no boost. He's going to have nothing here. Nachito comes in to help him out. Virtuoso deciding to stay in the play. He'll be out for a while. Noli challenged by Relating wave. Relating wave, the flip reset to clear it even further downfield. That delayed the challenge from Godsmilla.
And so much pressure from Discombobulators. Match point for them. So much on the line. Top 2 contenders right now for the league. Discombobulators and Flomp.
Yes, this is it's a top 4 matchup.
Yeah.
Discombobulators already at the top of the ladder. This would just cement their spot even further. Now the shot saved. Noli hitting downfield. Another block from Noli. Virtuoso. Clear attempt. Those waiting for it. Relating wave up. Clears down center. Noli's right there, hitting it back to the corner. Virtuoso down the sideline. Godsmilla up in the air. Nachito with some space. Passes over to Relating wave. Relating wave, the shot saved by Noli. Relating wave hard off the sidewall. Though going for a double tap. Bounces out. Noli with some time, getting challenged. Out to Godsmilla. Godsmilla to the corner. Those there. Challenges it, bounced down to Godsmilla. Godsmilla off the backboard. And now a big clear from Discombobulators. And the ball hits the ground. We've got overtime. The series on the line for Flomp. They need to get this goal. Otherwise, Discombobulators will cement their spot at number 1, at least for the time being. Though, challenge there and a big clear from Noli down the center. Responded to Virtuoso off the backboard, denied again by Though.
The defense from Flomp, they've been tested this game as well as last. Everything getting thrown at them, the physical plays, the great shots, good passing, and yet they hold strong here.
Godsmilla. Clear downfield. Now this one bouncing way back. Noli getting challenged. He has no boost, nothing in the corner. He's going to have to get back to net. Not even a small pad. Finally getting one. Though comes in to help him. But it's right to Nachito, who bounces it down. Relating wave. Going for the dunk here. Can't get it. And a challenge sends it back to Godsmilla. Up in the air. Thow's up as well.
The pass.
Back down to Godsmilla. Godsmilla off the backboard. It's going to bounce down off the arc. Relating. Getting stopped. Good pop. But Relating wave hits it to the side. Though with the boost steal. And the mid boost steal as well. This one back out to
the demo. Godsmilla looking for something there. Going for the enemy, the goalkeeper. Trying to get something. And he can't connect.
And that demo could just open it up. We've seen it, but Discombobulators hasn't really been physical for a while.
It was that instant response after the double demo. It just stopped everything.
Now center ball, and oh, it looks like Though got in the way. But Godsmilla wasn't even close enough to get to a center ball. Virtuoso low on boost, picks up one pad, floats it over one, but Thow's there.
Noli.
Over to Noli. Noli down to Godsmilla, and Godsmilla blocked by Relating wave. Now Noli again, this one high off the crossbar. Nachito with a long clear. Godsmilla last back, using up every ounce of boost to make that save. Gets the full boost now as Flomp prepare for the counterattack. This one popping out to Godsmilla, double commit. Also a team bump. Godsmilla going for the dunk. Does get a block, but it's down to Nachito, who gets the hit and the boost. Nachito, because of that boost, able to make the follow-up play as well. Godsmilla off the corner. This one off the backboard, and Though will deny it. Virtuoso, good speed. And another strong clear from Godsmilla.
And the defense from that man, Godsmilla, has been on point throughout the rest of this game. Just always in position, getting every save he can.
A good first touch. Though that light flick still making Relating wave work for it. And now another double commit from Discombobulators. We've seen multiple double commits on defense and another double commit. No. It looks like the player was able to recover off the wall. So defense stabilizing for Discombobulators as they start the attack. That little touch faking out Godsmilla. This one bouncing down and out. Nachito up. Hits it to the side. Though has to back up for it. A little bit of awkward positioning.
What a
shot towards net. That one off the post and out. Relating wave leaves it for Nachito, who gets demoed. A close call for Flomp.
And what a shot from Relating wave off the corner. And the pressure still stacking up for Discombobulators. So close. And yet it's still tied here in overtime.
We just hit the 4-minute mark. Discombobulators trying to seal the deal. This one off the backboard.
Follow.
And Virtuoso was there, but Though had gotten enough of it. Follow-up from Relating wave. That one just wide. Virtuoso back to the middle. Godsmilla will get the clear. Nachito passes to Relating wave. Relating wave down. Noli clear to the side. And another clear. Following up with a big dunk. Thow's up. Out of boost. And he'll have to bail out.
Relating wave. It's his second shot off the post. So close. Discombobulators almost finding the back of the net, but not close enough.
Virtuoso getting bumped. Godsmilla off the corner going for a dunk, but Nachito will get it. Rolling down the sideline, no boost for Nachito, but he gets a huge challenge. Another one, gonna go for the no dribble, or no boost dribble play. Almost got pool shot into it. It's making me stumble over my words.
He was like trying to tee it up there.
Pressure continuing to mount. We're past the 5-minute mark. A full game of Rocket League having been played in overtime at this point. Virtuoso going for the dunk. Can't get there in time. Relating wave and Tho go head to head. It pops up to Noli out in the middle. Noli off the backboard. Virtuoso misses. Tho sends it off the backboard as well. Nachito and Godsmilla gets a piece of it, and Virtuoso knew Godsmilla was going to come in from that angle. It's cut off the play. As Noli goes for the backboard, Nachito hits it across net, confident that no one from Flomp Versant was there. Yeah. Relating wave down to the middle. Virtuoso getting dunked. Oh, that little touch. That it? Bouncing in. It is. And right at the 6-minute mark, Tho gets credit for this overtime goal.
Flomp, I mean, they hang on by a thread. I have no idea how they managed to sneak away with this game. It was so close, time and time again for Discombobulators, and yet Flomp, they managed to stay in and force a Game 5.
And it wasn't the prettiest of shots, but sometimes that's just what happens. They just go in. It was a good challenge from Tho. He just went in there, flipped towards it, made himself as big as possible. Got the dunk, and it just bounced right in. So a 6-minute overtime, Flomp getting the win. The sigh from you, that's how I feel as well.
Dude, Discombobulators, did you see how close Relating Wave was? 2 times. He hit off the post, and it was literally millimeters within going in. That has got to be so tilting. And then to ultimately go into overtime and go 6 minutes in, and then you get scored on like that.
But for Flomp, that is exactly what you hope for. Exactly what you hope for. This is the decider now. We're going in to the final game of the series, Game 5. You just won that 6-minute overtime.
Yeah.
And Discombobulators, thinking back on that game, they came out swinging. Like they were in control of that game. And then there was just that one play that just cooled them off.
Yeah, and Flomp, they weren't really responding. It felt like the one time that they did it off the double demo that we were saying that was crazy, and then Flomp got that right away off the kickoff, the response. That's when all the physical play stopped. It's almost like Discombobulators maybe communicated to each other, okay, we're pushing up a little bit too much. But then they stopped everything they had going for them, and then ultimately it just came down to Flomp taking use of that space.
Yeah, and just those few key errors. You think back, I think it was Nachito who was off the wall, and he went to hit that ball and just got that weak touch that got dunked on and rolled the full distance back right into the goal. So 2 goals in that series against Discombobulators were dunks on them that just bounced in. So tough break for them.
Right. And there were shots as well from Tho, coming in. I thought that he had some great dribbles. Godsmilla, I saw him on defense, was amazing. It felt like every time there was some kind of opportunity for, Discombobulators, that's whenever he was there in position. That third man, Godsmilla usually is the most back, and I thought that he did a great job there of, being a clutch defensive end for Flomp.
And just a reminder that this is a top 4 battle. Just taking a look at the standings, you can see how important this matchup is, especially for Flomp. Reson, who's trying to stay in the top 4. Discombobulators, they can afford a loss here right now, but with Flomp, if they lose this, Baguette Squad right on their heels.
Yeah, I mean, and Flomp, going 3-2, it's, like you said, top 4 contention, but at the same time, you don't even want to have any chance of that right now going in against Discombobulators, a team that has come out of pretty much nowhere. It's crazy. I've seen, Flomp recently. I've seen Godsmilla, a couple of these players, around. Their names have kind of surfaced. But right now it's Discombobulators. They are the big surprise factor for me out of this entire league.
They have been playing very well, and if Flomp loses this game, they will certainly drop down to that 5th spot. Baguette Squad moving ahead.
Yeah.
And speaking of moving ahead, let's take a look ahead at the schedule for the rest of the day. After this matchup, we've got Game 5 coming your way. We've got RCD Espanyol versus Team Echo Zulu. And then also matches 3 and 4 coming in later today. Method will be going up against Team Vertex, who just got their only win against AS Monaco. And then match 4, ARG versus AS Monaco.
And Team Echo Zulu as well. They did beat out, was it AS Monaco, I believe?
Yeah,
with,
it was Echo
Zulu. Previously known as Fadeaway.
Yeah.
And that is a crazy game in itself. All of these teams really giving that last stride here towards the end of the season to try and put in everything they can, and it is going to come down to the wire.
It certainly is. So these teams battling, obviously, for the top 4 spots in league play.
Yeah.
Because the top 4 then move on to that playoff. And the top 2 from the playoffs automatically get into the RLCS, which is something we've never seen before. Automatic promotion.
And this could be the only time that we really do see that, is where potentially 4 teams can make it into RLCS and kick out 4 of the bottom teams.
Yeah, it's completely possible with the RLCS expanding.
Or not 4 of the bottom, 2 of the bottom teams.
Well, I mean, yes, but the 4 teams could be coming in.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the point you're making.
Yeah.
Is the 4 rival series teams could be into the
and that's a
RLCS
huge
next season.
Difference. The difference. That's 4 out of 10 teams you could be affecting RLCS. That is crazy.
And so we'll see if it will be one of these teams that's at least solidifying that top 4 spot.
I mean, I want to see double demos like that come into RLCS. I would like that.
Discombobulator. I mean, we already see it. We've seen it
compared
by
to the
Pittsburgh Knights,
Yeah.
right? And then for Europe, not as heavy-handed, but they're getting there, especially with Discombobulators this past game early on. But they're going to need to bring that again. This is Game 5. This is the decider, all coming down to this. Will Tho be able to continue to make these offensive shots?
I
That's
mean,
the question.
we saw him last week. We talked about it so much. Tho, he's the man who's going to hit these shots, and he's done just that. But if he's demoed and off the field, it's going to be all space for Discombobulators.
Space Invaders. That's what they were last game. Just not giving anything up to Flomp until that mistake that led to the first goal. An infield pass. The shot just going to be wide. Nachito getting challenged by Godsmilla. And if you think back to the last game, the first 38 seconds were all Discombobulators putting the pressure on. This time, it's all Flomp. 20 seconds in, and Noli gets the first goal.
I mean, bit of a mishap from Relating Wave, trying to get some kind of a bounce clear, but it just goes down into that corner and rolls out perfectly for Noli to get a follow-up.
That mistakes were what cost Discombobulators last game. The slight mistouches, Nachito last game, this time Relating Wave. Now a chance, Nachito's
another
all
demo.
high, the demo's coming out. And they still can't find the back of the net. Nachito centers it, and Godsmilla gets the clear down.
I mean, double demos, and you still can't come out with a play. That has got to hurt. But as long as you can not get tilted, not get in your own head, keep the physical plays coming, even if it didn't work. We saw them last game kind of back off from that strategy. Right now, we need to see them be as aggressive as ever and just be resilient.
And even last game, they were going for the demos still. They just couldn't find that shot to take advantage of no defender in net. Pass out. Double commit. Nachito with the stop. Goes for the dunk as well. It'll send it to the back corner. A demo on Tho. Virtuoso up. Godsmilla also low on boost. The attack shaping up for Discombobulators. Relating Wave wanting to get another touch. Nachito up in the air. Godsmilla there as well. The drop from Virtuoso, and Noli with the save. Relating Wave popping it up. Going for a flip reset.
No way.
Didn't get it. But now the follow-up shot from Nachito also weak. And you saw the angle. Had he gotten the flip reset, he could have gotten that shot towards net. And the bounce shot denied by Godsmilla. Flomp rock solid on defense right now.
Godsmilla, he just got 2 back-to-back goal line saves. Now the follow-up, Noli doing a great job of getting in the way and forcing a lot of these challenges, not giving Discombobulators a great angle or anything to shoot on.
Pressure still mounting. Relating Wave with a dunk. Noli backwards has the bicycle kick the ball out of the way. Nachito going for the backward. Noli right there. Another block. Relating Wave leaves it for Nachito. Virtuoso up though, blocking out the play. Speed from Relating Wave is going to kick it off to the side. Virtuoso just bailing out, now turning for the challenge. Can't get the second follow-up. Nachito and Relating Wave both going for it. Relating Wave, follow-up hit, gets the pass out to the middle. Nachito's there, the shot off the post. It comes back out. Chaos in front of net. A pitch downfield, and Relating Wave barely gets back in time. A chance for Discombobulators, almost going the full distance to to be a counterattack goal.
And they keep getting so close to finding that shot, finding the goal, and still, it just doesn't connect for them.
That ball was in such a dangerous spot so many times, but again, the shot not coming in. Virtuoso puts it down, and Nachito wins a big challenge. This one's off the backboard. The shot off the backboard again, and Tho will get that hit, and now cleared downfield. Relating wave off to the side. Time is winding down, but just a one-goal game. Discombobulators have been threatening, but they haven't found the mark.
And they've done such a great job of opening up that space, finding the hole, a place to punish against Flomp, and the finish, the shot, just cannot come through for them, no matter how much pressure.
This one kicking up. Noli first to it, got Smilla hunting down Relating Wave, gets a slight bump, but no demo. Now Tho attacking backboard again, under a minute left. Approaching dangerous time for Discombobulators. This one off the backboard and out. Nachito challenges Godsmilla. Nachito staying with it. It's bouncing out. Noli trying to pop it up. Godsmilla out of boost. The flick high, bounces out, and now hit to the corner. Noli keeping the pressure on Discombobulators, attempting to burn the time off the clock. Godsmilla, the bounce shot right to the top corner, a spear, and that has to be the nail.
From being a legend right now in this series on defense to coming up with the clutch security goal, Godsmilla, a great MVP performance from him. And right now, Flomp, they're running away with it. They need to find something if you're Discombobulators and finish these opportunities. You have 13 seconds left.
And time running out. Last chance. Hit towards net. Noli off the corner, and that is going to be it.
Wow.
A long Game 5 series featuring a 6-minute overtime, and Flomp Rissant come out on top.
I mean, shot after shot. Discombobulators, they get a great pass in. Somebody's going for the demo. They do get the bump, and yet the finishing third man cannot connect. And Flomp, the difference here is that every time they were presented with any space, they made use of it.
You know, and I still feel good about my pick, Turtle, because I feel like Discombobulators should have won that series. I feel like they should have won.
You know what?
That game that
Definitely.
went into overtime, they should have won that game. This series should have been over, but Flomp was resilient, and I give them credit. I give them respect. And their offense is an offense to be feared. It's just that Discombobulators, it's same for them. And the way they were using demos was very effective.
Yeah.
They just crumbled in that key game 4, and that ended up costing.
The trust was there, too. Like, it's not one thing just to go for a demo and not having a finishing shot, because maybe the person who's going for the demo doesn't trust his team, and then it kind of creates this weird confusion. But the trust was there, the confidence to get the shot, and yet it just came down to that mechanical ability to actually find the net. And that has got to be a dagger and just a painful series to lose.
Absolutely.
If you're Discombobulators.
If you're Discombobulators,
wow.
You're feeling bad. You could be sitting at 5-1, almost assuring yourself a spot in the top 4. But now they're down to 4-2. Flomp solidifies their spot.
Yeah.
So good on them. Fun series to watch, but we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back from the break, we have RCD Espanyol going up against Echo Zulu. Don't miss it.
dancing in the shadows, waiting for new light, being with you. And this new sunrise is upon us. A new sunrise is all we need. New sunrise is upon us. A new sunrise is all we need. We can take our time now. We can take it slow. So many hours to go. I wanna hang on the moments, keep the love alive, being with you. And this new sunrise is upon us. A new sunrise is all we need. New sunrise is upon us. A new sunrise is all we need. Holding for the break of day. Don't look back, it's all the same. So many hours to go. We can take our time now. We can take it slow. So many hours to go.
Hello and welcome back to the European Rocket League Rivals Series. We're back, we're still here on the desk after that incredible Game 5 series we just saw. Flomp was on. Who would have thought it? I didn't, James didn't, but Turtle,
That's
you
right.
did.
You did.
That's
Turtle.
right.
I mean, I wouldn't be too proud. You were one goal away from being wrong. And 3-1.
That's Flomp Resant you're talking about, man. Come on.
They're the #1 team right now. It's true.
The number one name, at least.
Yeah, well, with that win, they jettisoned up to #1.
Yeah.
So, you know, from a game where they lose their 5th, now they win, they're in 1st. So
Quite an incredible ladder climb, that really, isn't it? I mean, to be perfectly honest, like you said before the break, James, I really was expecting Discombobulators to really turn it around. If something I have noticed from their gameplay is that they need to get that first goal to make them feel a little bit more comfortable, I feel.
definitely.
And when they don't have their way,
it's so true.
I swear, every game they don't get the first goal in, they lose.
Even that first goal in the last game 5 was that mistouch from Relating Wave. he was in the corner. His teammate was right there. He touches it out into the middle, and they immediately get scored on.
Yeah.
And then even in the game 4, it was in more missed touches, and Flomp was actually able to come back from behind in that game to get the win. But it seemed like Discombobulators was on track to do exactly that.
Definitely.
They lost the game 1, and then they win the next 2 games, and you think they're going to close it out. And then,
And it was the mental-based game. Like we talked about it in the cast, was that they got the 2 physical bumps. They were being aggressive. They were doing great. Maybe even if the finishing shot doesn't come through, it doesn't mean you're necessarily doing a bad job and your playstyle is not matching, the enemy team well. It just means that you're not finishing, and you just got to keep being resilient. But they swapped their playstyle after going aggressive, and that's really what I think bit them in the leg for that series.
Absolutely.
And it's something that you guys actually did talk about, which is I actually had in my notes because I wanted to know a bit more about this, but the risk of obviously taking those demos, and we saw that Discombobulators really hounded in those demos during that entire series. Did they compensate for something that was working for them this series? Because I felt like at the end there, they actually weren't getting as many demos as I think they were going for, and I felt like that actually started to put them at a disadvantage.
Well, when you use demos, you're using up your boost to go out of position. And that same boost you could be using to turn around and go for an aerial or go for a shot.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think the demos were too much, or it was putting them out of position too much. I think where they they were doing a good job opening up paths to score. They just didn't have the shot come in when they needed it. So they were clearing off the goal line. They were clearing up space, getting chances. It was just the shooting that wasn't going their way in the end, and also those missed touches. So it was mechanics, in my opinion, that had made the difference. Mechanics in those key moments, those deciding moments. And the same spot where Discombobulators struggled, Flomp excelled.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a risky thing to go for the demos, but you have to connect. And here's the thing: is Discombobulators were connecting on almost all of the demo attempts. Every time they'd go for it, they would find some kind of demo, at least bump a player. Because if you do miss that demo, then you're out of position. Meanwhile, the other person you were trying to take out is obviously in a great spot. There's so much space opening, and most of the time, I thought Discombobulators did connect, and they just, like you said, James, could not find a shot.
Well, what more could you want from a Friday morning than a Game 5 already to start the day off? I mean, incredible stuff. But we have so much more action coming your way, including our next matchup, which is going to be a very fun one. We got RCD Espanyol taking on Team Echo Zulu. And I would probably call them the Clutch Clan here, because they made some serious moves off stream. I mean, taking on AS Monaco and beating them, that is a huge upset there. But also RCD Espanyol, I mean, I'm going to have to talk about this, Turtle, because you had some incredible quotes from last week because of Zamwe. You actually said his mechanical prowess was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's very true. I think that Zamwe is extremely talented in terms of on-field action and what he can actually do for the rest of his team. I actually felt like he was slightly an underrated player until you started to bring him up a little bit more. Yeah,
and I hadn't heard about him at all. Like I was really a little bit curious to see what I would get from RCD, but Zamwe, I thought that every time he would go for a backboard read, he would always connect, always find some kind of a double touch, and that is really what helped them get the win. He was there, and usually he was the raw talent and raw mechanical ability for this RCD team who would open up space and create opportunities.
Absolutely.
And also, I just heard that we'll actually be having a sub for Team Echo Zulu. Zeph will be subbing in for Impact.
Oh, okay.
Which, I was looking at Impact, and Impact, he's below 10% shooting. And he was also last in the league in scoring. And all of these players, if you look and you sort by how much you score per game, all 6 of these players are in the bottom 7. Yeah. So so far this season, these teams have struggled to find goals. And you even go back and look at RCD's games, a lot of shutouts where they have just not managed to score. Echo Zulu got that big win against AS Monaco, but this is going to be a series where 2 teams who struggle with offense come in, and one of them is going to start getting some momentum for their season. But the other team that loses this series, it's a down and out moment for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting to see a sub coming in here as well, because I mean, we actually seeing this with the RCD squad. I mean, Stacks actually mentioned last week, Ghostfire was a player that really it ended up on him. Either he's playing well and the team will play well because of that, or if he's not having a good day, then the team might fall because of that. I mean, they lost to ARG and Ghostfire really wasn't on fire at the time. So we need him to step up as well. And it's interesting seeing a sub coming in for Echo Zulu. So I'm excited to see how that improves the chemistry for this team. We need to do predictions. So, Turtle, who are we going with?
You know, you quoted me about Zamway, so now I was gonna pick them originally, but now I feel even more confident, you know, knowing about the things that I had said previously, which I do have a lot of confidence in Zamway, and I think RCD, they're gonna take it.
So I put in my pick without knowing there was going to be a sub. So I'm going with Echo Zulu here because, you know, they made an impact on me with DreamHack and how good they did there. But with a sub, I think it's going to be a very tough challenge. I would not be surprised to see RCD Espanyol get the win.
Neither would I, and that's exactly why I'm choosing them, James. So I'm also going with RCD.
Let's go.
I'm on the turtle side here. I'm on the turtle side here. I think this is going to be a really interesting matchup.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how Zeph actually performs with the team. So we'll have to keep an eye out on him on the stream to see exactly how he's fitting in. But gentlemen, we're pretty much ready to go here. I'm very excited, and we'll see whether or not Team Echo Zulu will take this one, James, for you and bring it home. So.
Thank you, Lottie. And Turtle, this matchup, coming in with a sub. Have you ever had to play with a sub? And
I have.
Tournament? How does that generally go? What is the...
Okay, there's either two processes here. You either care too much and the sub comes in and just messes everything up, and all the synergy, especially depending on if you were prepared for it. You know, sometimes subs are usually last minute, so when that comes in, it kind of throws you completely off. But sometimes for teams, that is exactly what you need. Some kind of a mix-up, a fresh new roster. And I even talk about this when a player gets kicked and they have a new roster on the team. I think that's usually what is going to make or break the squad, because it's the freshness and the new atmosphere that can actually elevate a team to incredible heights and make it so much better. Or they could just literally tumble all the way down.
We've seen it in the RLCS before, where a player will come in as a super sub, and can help get the wins in those situations. I'm pretty sure we've even seen Jazer come in at one point for flip side back in the day.
But here's the thing. I've also been on the other end of whenever I'm watching somebody sub it for me. So it's weird because you're mixed with this like selfishness. Oh, I don't want them to play well. I don't want them to be the super sub.
Gibbs actually told me a story about that, how when he was away on a cruise, and I think who was it? A-Money? Or I think it was A-Money.
It was A-Money. I remember watching that game.
And he was like, man, I hope they just do terrible because I don't want to get replaced from
and that's,
Cosmic.
I mean, what a team mentality from Gibbs. Let's go.
Oh, that's great. So Echo Zulu, they got their first win of the season versus AS Monaco. Going up against Espanyol now. Espanyol sitting at 2-4, but both of these teams have struggled offensively.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of defensively, I love Lottie's point about Ghostfire. I was going to make it as well because he was the player I was watching out for. And then all of a sudden, here comes Team Echo Zulu. Zeph puts in a clear.
And Zeph just turning around, getting that hit, and you can see there Ghostfire just shocked.
Doesn't even move.
Stops moving. Game over. As Zeph puts that first goal in. Now to the corner. Stopped down by Taz. Ghostfire to the corner as well. Getting it by Zeph. Stays with the ball, goes for the challenge. Now Mr. Ubi. The positioning there. Zeph can't get the stop. Zamway challenging, and now Ghostfire using up a lot of boost, and Taz rather still gets it by him.
And Ghostfire just didn't do anything right there. Could have had a chance to keep the pressure going. Bit of some panic play from him. It's the first game. Are you going to be nervous here? How are you going to feel out the other team? Who's going to step up? And right now, Echo Zulu, just off of a clear, they take the lead.
Zeph off the backboard gets shut down by Mr. Ubi. Popped up by Matane. Matane going for the dunk, and he dunks it past. Team Echo Zulu starting out hot.
Matane, look at this air dribble, and he gets the dunk. What an angle to follow up. He turns his car so he has almost all of the ball to land on, and he does it with perfect precision.
So the sub working out so far for Echo Zulu as they get this lead early in game one. We'll see if Espanyol can get something started. They have a tendency to get shut out.
And Zeph being the sub, I think him getting that first goal, if he was nervous at all, that is such a great way to get your head into the series, mainly coming in as the sub. That's what you want to see.
confidence all around.
Yeah.
You know, you scoring that first goal, not only are you happy, your teammates are.
Yeah.
Matane. Just a light lob towards net. Ghostfire will hit it up to the side. Zamway going for the challenge, but stopped out by Taz. Matane, backward pass. Ghostfire hits it up in the air. And a stop from Zeph at the midfield. Taz going for the sidewall, double tap, makes the defender miss, 0 boost, can't get a challenge on the ball. Right out to the corner, center ball, Matane low on boost, but Ghostfire was not able to shoot.
Zamway, what a pass as well into the midfield. Here's a chance, but all of these challenges, Echo Zulu is right there in front of RCD to block any shot coming in.
And you see Zeph using up that one pad to get to the ball, get the hit by a defender, and then get the boost steal and get out. Zeph playing well so far. Ubi challenged by Taz. Ghostfire up to the corner. Zeph attempting a center. It's kicked out to Taz. Taz to the corner. Ghostfire clears it long past Matane. Matane back pass to Zeph, and Zeph clears it out. Taz. And you can see this game a little bit of a stalemate right now.
Yeah.
Both teams trying to get into positions where they can put a threatening shot on target, but a lot of back and forth right now.
If you're Echo Zulu, you're just trying to hang on right now. Minute and 15 left.
And that shot from Matane went off the crossbar. Echo Zulu on the attack. That one bouncing back. Zamway getting to it in time, gets it by the midfield. And now Taz on his own back wall. Ubi ran out of boost, or Ubi coming in for the challenge after Zamway ran out of boost. A challenge from Zeph. Matane now going for a follow-up. Back-to-back challenges. Taz keeping the ball in the Espanyol half.
What a touch.
But easily saved from Zamway. Now Matane a slight touch. Shot towards net, and you saw the bump attempt come out from Zamway. That one off the wall, back at net, and a big hit from Matane.
Offensive striking has been solid from RCD. Like you said, Zamway going for a bump, finding some kind of opening. But Echo Zulu surprising me with this defense, and most of these clears have been huge.
If you think back to DreamHack, defense was kind of their thing.
Yeah.
And they're busting it out against an Espanyol team who has struggled quite a bit to put shots in the back of the net. And you see there the missed shot in the final second. Echo Zulu with the shutout, 2-0 over Espanyol in game 1.
Starting out strong as well, Zeph, like we talked about, the sub coming in, making a statement. And so far, RCD, I mean, they just couldn't connect or find anything. They were going for it, some great plays, but overall could not find an opening.
Relatively good pressure from them. We saw some good hits to the corner, opportunities out in the middle, and then even that bump attempt when the shot was going towards net.
Yeah.
A few chances here and there, but only 4 shots in total.
Yeah.
And shut out again.
And I think it came down to those huge clears. I mean, Echo Zulu, they surprised me. A lot of their clears, either if they got a nice pinch or just a huge boom from their defensive end. It seemed like, RCD wasn't even prepared for it. And as that third man, it's either you have to be so aggressive to the point where you can stop the clear, or you're far back enough to the point where you can just instantly respond with, all the momentum coming for you with the clear and just clear it right back into the other side.
And those long clears set up counterattacks.
Yeah.
So Echo Zulu, even a few opportunities that narrowly missed. You think back, there was a shot, I think it was Matane, that just banged one off the crossbar, even in the final moments of that first game. So Echo Zulu having multiple opportunities. They didn't even put them all away, but still managed to get the 2-0 victory.
And that dunk from Matane, that was critical. That was huge. And the way he managed to wrap around the ball, I was surprised as well. But getting the security goal, I mean, come on.
And those are massive.
Yeah.
Having that 2-0 lead, especially at 0 seconds.
That's the biggest side.
Oh, my goodness,
Oh,
yes.
my goodness.
Once you get that second goal, the pressure starts to feel off.
Yeah.
Even though you're winning by 1, it never feels safe.
Right. But game 2 here, RCD, Team Echo Zulu. Oh, and the instant response in game 2. Zamway's here right off the kickoff.
3 seconds in, and that time Mitane just a split second too slow. You saw him jumping right by.
Yeah.
Go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was going to talk about cheating with the ball. I mean, Zamway's cheating. He was so fast and so confident. He didn't even stop at all. And it's a risky way to cheat, but when it works out, you are just so fast.
And it's worth it, especially off kickoff. If you are in a spot where your teammate can have your back,
Yeah.
you just have to put faith in them. Saw Mitane just a little too slow to that one. Now another shot. I thought this was going to hit backboard. Ghostfire sneaking this one in under the top shelf.
Ghostfire, I mean, the speed. It wasn't even close compared for Zeph. Outbeating the defense and finding the upper 90 spot.
So after going all of game one, struggling to score anything, they scored in the first 3 seconds and then put another one in less than 30 seconds later. Espanyol, big response. We'll see if Echo Zulu has anything left.
Yeah. That's a common trend, too. Whoever really comes out of the gates just swinging, that's usually the team who is going to be dominant and hold that pressure because the confidence just floods in right away.
And both of these teams, again, have not been scoring very much in the regular season. So a 2-goal lead at this point, you're feeling comfortable, especially when you have so much time left on the clock to put more in. And now another chance off the backboard.
Oh, the follow?
To Ghostfire, and Taz will make it back in time, but that easily could have been 3-0. Zeph hitting the ball to the corner. Challenge from Mitane, gets boost. Mr. Ubi staying with it, pinches out to Ghostfire. Ghostfire going for the backboard pass. Does get the stop. It's going to send it off to the side. Zamway first to it. Ghostfire getting a demo on Zeph. Mitane taking his time. That was a bold move. Taz is going to hand it over. A good flick there by Zeph, but Ghostfire puts it right back towards net.
And I'm watching the corner boost right now for, Echo Zulu's defensive side. And RCD are constantly starving out Echo Zulu Zamway. Whoever's that main aggressor is running into that corner and taking that boost.
And even there, Ghostfire had an opportunity to get a better shot on net, just giving up possession there. But still a 2-goal lead for Espanyol. Mr. Ubi rather misses that hit. Double commit. Ghostfire bails out quickly, but not in time. That slight double commit cost him. Echo Zulu within one.
And Ghostfire had a chance here to recover for his team. He just turned outwards instead of inwards towards the net, making it really difficult to even have any positioning when you're sitting on the defensive side. And right there, you just want to turn inwards and have the whole net to look at rather than try and be an aggressor as the last man back.
And that slight jump, had he not done that, maybe he would have been in position to make the save.
Yeah.
Zeph with a clear downfield. Taz racing to it. Zamway hits it to Ghostfire. This one pinching out. Taz having to come in to step in. Taz just hovering behind that ball, trying to get some time for his teammates to come in and help.
I like the clears from RCD right now. Always finding each other, really never losing huge possessional game because their clears are pretty accurate and usually end up finding its way to a teammate.
And that clear was a solid one. Zeph trying to follow it up, and that miss from Ghostfire challenging, and then the demo, but the clear, you're right, Turtle, finding a teammate. And now a chance, this one getting dunked on, that one high. Now off the backboard, Mitane booming clear over to Zeph. Zeph, the shot!
Touch.
Oh my, the full field counterattack, and Zeph with the shot to finish it all off.
The sub who comes in hits an angle like that. One of the best shots we've seen from the first 2 series today, and Zev playing phenomenally right now in Game 2 and in Game 1. He was the main striker, it felt like.
What an impact that he has been having. Zeph with the challenge gets the bump on Ghostfire as well. Taz, first touch. Struby with the challenge. Now Ghostfire will center it. Zeph, he's there. Hits it off to the side. Taz racing to it as well. Wins that challenge. It's out to Mr. Ubi, who hits it into the Echo Zulu corner. Matane, clear attempt, goes out to Ghostfire. Ghostfire off the crossbar, barely out. Center ball, Mr. Ubi hits it over to Matane. Matane racing towards net. He flicks it, and Ghostfire gets the save.
Echo Zulu managed to hang on. RCD, Ghostfire had that chance. He hit the crossbar, and that is something that needs to be finished. I had my doubts about Ghostfire. So far, he's been solid, but right there, a huge miss from him.
That could have been the game.
Yeah.
Had he hit that shot. And now, ball in the air in a dangerous spot. The shot, upper 90, Mr. Ubi with the buzzer beater.
I didn't think Mateo was going to pop this one up, but he did. And Ubi, it seemed like he almost pre-jumped the hit. He's already in the air, and the most clutch shot you can get, the buzzer beater from Ubi. James, you're just looking into space right now.
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The start of today has just been outrageous.
Yeah.
It has been outrageous.
So now we don't have double demos, but instead we have somehow buzzer beaters from Ubi and last second hits from Zaf. Did you see, or Zef, excuse me,
the shots this game were incredible. Even the equalizer from Zef, and then the buzzer beater from Mr. Ubi.
Yeah.
Those 2 shots were both of those shots could have been the best shot of a series.
Yeah.
And they happened in the same game.
And I didn't think Matane was going to keep that ball up. The way he jumped for it, I thought maybe he was going to push it into the corner, but he just kind of went straight up with it. Nobody from his defensive side, his teammates, to follow through. And Ubi, it's one thing to hit that shot normally, but the fact
it was 0
seconds. And being a player, you're going up and you have to be aware that it's 0 seconds, so the pressure's on, and he manages to hit it.
And if you're Matane,
that's right.
That it feels really horrible because you're the one who put that ball there.
Yeah.
You're the one who put that opportunity up there
Definitely.
for Mr. Ubi. And he just nailed it.
And
he really stepped up in that play. What a shot.
He gave Ubi just the slightest angle to any
and
more
you
hit
saw him
towards
boosting towards it too. He was like, oh no, I can't let him shoot this. And his worst nightmare became reality.
Got to feel for him.
And I certainly do. Game 3, Espanyol tying up the series with Echo Zulu, who had that late comeback. But that 0-second goal ended all hopes. Center ball. That one saved by Mr. Ube Zef. Looking to score yet again. Good defense. Ghostfire puts it up. Zamway trying to get a touch on it, but he didn't get there in time. Taz sends this ball quickly upfield. A miss. The net was vulnerable, but Echo Zulu too far away.
Oh, what a dribble from Zamway as well. All the way down the field, beats out 2 defenders. And the clears, I've talked about it before, RCD, they seem strong, and the possession is always there.
And that possession was what got him the win last game. Staying calm. And then also the just raw shooting ability from Mr. Ubi.
Yeah.
Can't take that for granted. Ghostfire. Downfield, Mr. Ubi, long, clear. Taz has to get up quickly. Zamway gets a touch on that ball as Espanyol picks up where they left off, putting this pressure on Echo Zulu.
Yeah. And I mean, this series alone is really a big fight for top 6 right now. So important for both teams.
And Espanyol's already at 2-4, improving to 3-4. They get a new life on the season.
Yeah.
For Echo Zulu, a loss here would be devastating. They're already sitting at what, 1-4?
Yeah, 1-4.
So being 1-5 Going to be tough to come back from that. Espanyol, they're eager to close this one out. And now is the time to do it against an Echo Zulu team that has a sub. However, Zeph, a super sub right now. Matane downfield. Mr. Ube getting demoed. Taz attempting the center. Doesn't go great, but Zamway, he also struggled with it as well. Still a chance now for Espanyol. This one off the backboard and up.
Oh.
And the miss. Zeph is going to hit it downfield. But that was another chance that you hit that shot, it's going in.
And Zamway, he was so fast to get up. If he had made any kind of contact, there's no saving it so long as it's on net. He had the momentum going in, and yet he didn't finish. And he's a player who I have personally been amazed with. Thought his mechanics, his dribbling, and the way he approached the ball really is unique and special. But right now, not too much from him.
We'll see if that changes. Still early in the series. Game 3, scoreless, as we are under 2 minutes left to play. Mr. Ubi.
The dribble.
Going for the dribble, and Matane will come in to help out. Taz slow plays it, goes for a flick. Double commit. This is dangerous. Center ball. And that double commit gonna bite Espanyol. Zeph gets another one.
Zeph, he's so good at punishing right now. He is the player who's coming in for that finishing shot. Like you said, James, off of a double commit, all you need to do is have the rotations coming.
And Zamway can't jump for that.
Yeah.
Get back in rotation. His teammate had that angle covered. But Zamway went for the ball, and that was the double commit that did him in. That's why the communication has to be there. You can go for it if you communicate it.
Yeah.
But we just didn't see that happen. Mistake from Espanyol. See if they respond.
And it could be a tilting factor as well. I know from personal experience, if you're going up against a team that has a sub, it kind of alters your mentality a little bit. You're thinking a little bit positively, but at the same time, maybe complacent.
Ooh. And also, you don't want to be embarrassed by getting beat by a team with a sub.
Exactly. But at this point, it's not even an embarrassment with the performance we've seen from Zeph.
Absolutely. He's been a super sub.
Yeah.
That shot to tie it up last game, being there to get the goal, to go ahead in this game, he has been such a key factor. And that shot just off the mark. Ghostfire, a narrow miss. Again, the challenge popping up in the air. Zamway, light touch down. Double commit, and Zeph's going to hit to the corner. Needs another challenge here. Center ball. Matane hops in front of this one. Goes for the double tap pass. Ghostfire with the miss, and Matane's second effort. That's going to put it out of reach for Espanyol.
Punishing off of the miss. Matane stays on the wall and then gets the flip in. A difficult thing to do to recover on the wall, but then to get the follow-up shot.
And to completely ignore the defender.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
he played
kind
the
of
miss
disrespectful
100%.
too.
Yeah, Yo, what a way to end it. Matane, the second effort,
Yeah.
ignoring the defender, expecting the miss, and getting the goal. And that's going to be it for game 2, or game 3 rather, as one more goal goes in. Matane says, I need these stats.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He just wants all the stats he can get, even when Zamway just pops it up for him.
And you hate to see that. Even a player, even though the game is over, seeing a player just give up like that, that's not a good indicator of mentality.
Definitely.
You want to be playing hard until that ball touches the ground and the game's over. It's just about one of those things about being a competitor. So, Espanyol struggling in game 3. This could have been a 3-0 had the last game gone differently.
And I think that's a big point to bring up is the fact that Echo Zulu, they bounced back after a disappointing loss. You know, Matane, I believe it was him who got that touch, and then he comes through and he's the clutch player. He, recovers, like you talked about, mentality. He recovers from the mentality, the little hole that he might have been in, and he comes through in game 3, takes the win.
And this could be it. Now, Echo Zulu 1 win away from improving to 2-4 on the season, getting a new lease on life for them. the season could turn around, especially since they got that win against AS Monaco.
Yeah.
Who is already at the top of the ladder, a game that they were expected to lose. So they're starting to potentially turn a corner because they've looked good. They gave up a few opportunities. Like, you can't forget about that bounce off the backboard, and who was it? Was it Ghostfire?
Yeah, he's done that multiple times this series where he's had a chance going up for the aerial, can't find the net. He hits it just above, and at that point, nobody's coming through because you're the last man in. You have to hit that shot or nobody's following up.
And so the worst thing about it is as well, if you do miss that shot and it bounces off the backboard, you're kick-starting a counterattack. You're taking yourself out of the play. You're giving the opponents a numbers
all that space.
And space. And so that's when you see those long, center balls setting up the counterattack play, like the shot we saw from Zeph where he's upside down and gets the shot on the counterattack. If you hit the ball too hard off the backboard in the wrong spot, you could be signing your own death warrant.
Yeah.
So game 4, Espanyol shut out again last game. Gonna have to start scoring. Echo Zulu has been on the resurgence. Taz with the challenge. It goes down to Ghostfire. Ghostfire over to Zamway, and Zamway off the corner. Good pressure right now for Espanyol. Zeph can't get to it in time. Ghostfire double commit. And the follow-up, that's going to be wide. Still towards net. Double commit from Echo Zulu again. Pressure mounting. Mr. Ubi. Over to Zamway. Zamway.
And they had a chance there, too. Did you see Ghostfire, the double commit? He didn't even need to go for it. That third man back was coming with all the momentum to get a shot in, and Ghostfire went for the touch after being stationary.
And that's not how you get power.
Yeah.
Have to have that lead up. Zeph landing on Ghostfire. Zamway flicking past one. Mitane, good controlled, air dribbling it by another. But that air dribble buying some time. Zeph getting that full boost. Wanted to go for the ceiling shot. Off the backboard. Taz, the shot, that's saved. And now the demo on the other end. Mitane getting that block, and Taz will clear this across the field. Center ball, the shot, saved, and now Taz clearing it off the goal line. Mr. Ubi popping it up in the air, gets it by another. Chance for Zamway, and he's blocked out by Mitane.
Good defensive positioning from Mitane. I mean, he's in the middle of the pass and the net as well. A shot on target, he would have been able to get the save, and also the pass came through, and there he is to get an interception.
That bump from Zamway is going to give some space over to Echo Zulu. Pinch towards net. Ghostfire will let it go across. You see Ubi just bouncing around. Zamway taking his time. Tried to dribble that pass. Now a challenge will bounce down. Light touch from Mitane. Taz with another challenge. Get down to the ground quick. Zamway second effort. Not enough. Shot towards net. Ghostfire barely back in time. And then we see giving up possession, setting up that shot. You don't want to do that.
I mean, you could see the respect that Ghostfire had for the other team. After he got that clear, instead of pushing up, trying to get a challenge, he just falls back.
Zeph will lead this counterattack, picks up full boost, pops it by Ubi. Zamway in the corner now, being challenged by Mitane. It's bouncing to the middle, Ghostfire. Back to the corner, Mitane out of boost. No one's left in net. Mr. Ubi just has to put it towards net, and he does! The overcommit from Echo Zulu punished by Espanyol.
Zamway in the right spot at the right time. Ghostfire doing a solid job of getting that clear up, forward, and to him. Zamway, just an easy redirect. And, you're not going to miss that.
And you're scratching your head. You had two players from Echo Zulu diving at the same ball in the corner. On the offensive corner. There was nobody from Echo Zulu in their own half when that ball went into the net. And that you don't see that too often.
Yeah, I mean, this is match point for Echo Zulu. They could close it out here.
And now another opportunity. You saw Zamway streaking across the net. Right now, we are positioned for another Game 5. Mitane faking out one defender. The ball bouncing back to Zeph. Not much boost. does get the challenge and the boost. Very good positioning and play from Zeph. Matane. Getting stopped out, but the ball down to Taz. Taz just opts for the shot. He had Zeph in the middle for the pass as well. And now the pass from Zeph. No one's there. Ube gets the boost. Zeph will have to get out. Ball bouncing back towards the middle. A stop by Taz. Taz.
Ceiling shot.
Wanted the ceiling shot, but it was cut off by Zamway. Again, Matane looking for a pass. Zeph will put that up off the corner, or off the ceiling rather. The shot coming in. Zeph by one. Challenging another. Up in the middle. Ghostfire there. Stop out. See if they have it. 2v1 right now. 3v1. Going for the demo play, but the play from Mr. Ubi. Not only does he get the 0-second goal, he gets a massive save. He had to not only dodge the bump, but make the save, and he does it.
I don't know if I'm seeing double. I saw two players going for him as well.
Literally
everybody there. The flying V formation from Echo Zulu to get the last second goal to tie it up. And Ubi, he just dodged both of the players.
That's a moment where you want to save the replay and go back and watch, because it looked like had the flick not come through as well, with the bump, when you go in for a bump like that, you're always at least going to force the player to jump, right? So if you have the ball in that situation, you want to keep the ball as close to you as long as possible if there's no one challenging you from behind, and you want to dribble it if you can, because when your teammate forces that player to jump, their ability to move laterally now is completely stopped.
Yeah.
So if they're facing one direction, you have to try to dribble it behind them.
Yeah.
But what we saw happen was just the shot. And even though Mr. Ubi, he timed his jump perfectly. He was in the situation. He knew what was going down.
He saw two players.
He saw the writing on the wall. And he read it, and he was able to make
I mean, that's a terrifying view from him in general. As last man back, you see two players.
It's all coming down to that, right? As a teammate, you feel horrible too, right? You can imagine Ghostfire as he's sitting there. He's like, all right, I know what's happening. I can't get back.
That face, James.
Mr. Ubi, good luck, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do.
You're just sending up prayers at that point.
Mr. Ubi, take the wheel, please. And what a stop that was. A breakout performance by Mr. Ubi. They ought to buy him a milkshake after this is all said and done, especially if Espanyol can get the win.
I mean, I'm buying him a nice steak and dinner at that point, James. That's two clutch moments.
You're going to buy him a steak and dinner, or a steak dinner?
Steak and a dinner to take home, obviously.
Oh, wow. So, breaking out the takeout.
That's right.
And he's earned it. Echo Zulu reeling after that. You know that they want that back, especially Matane, who had that mistouch that led to the 0-second goal from Mr. Ube. Taz trying to center it, but no, he was going for what seemed like a solo play, perhaps out of boost. Big clear from Ghostfire. Red off the back wall from Zeph. Control gotten back from Zamway.
Oh.
That ball across net. If someone was real close, they could have punched that in. Now a demo on Taz. Ball over to Mr. Ubi, who's been lights out. And you hear the save coming out from the announcer on Champions Field.
Zamway's doing a great job of taking it himself. I feel like his teammates just aren't reading a lot of his dribbles. When he does push it into the corner, there's really only one option for him if he's got the ball close, is to get a pinch. And if I'm Mr. Ubi or Ghostfire, I just want to follow him up and shadow Zamway right now, who's beating out defenders with his dribbles.
And these are two teams that are near the bottom of the charts.
Yeah.
Bottom of the ladder, but they have made it an exciting series.
And mechanical abilities have been on display for Ubi, Zeph, both those players. Highlight performance.
And the, oh my gosh, Ghostfire, I was about ready to say, and the double tap goal, but Ghostfire gets the stop. What a save there, and a huge moment. Mr. Ubi to the corner. Going for a challenge, slows down the play. Ghostfire pinching it off the wall. It's going to go down to the corner, but the boost taken in front of his eyes from Taz. Zamway over to Ubi. It's a good bounce, but Taz was ready for it. And now Taz taking a wide angle, going for the play himself, and gets it by the solo play, the patience from Taz.
Look at this patient, the mind game. He saw Zamway go up in the air and he says, you know what? I'm not even gonna try and make a challenge right now. Keeps it low and then gets a speedy shot to put in the back of the net. Game 5, that's the way to do it.
So Taz coming up.
Oh no.
Clutch, but now dribble play, that flick, not the greatest. Taz would shut that down. Mr. Ubi, long clear. Zeph puts it down. And now Taz by Ghostfire. Mr. Ubi, a little slow to that ball. It bounces up for Zamway, who can't get it past Taz. Zeph jumped for that same ball. Matane, did he get the flip reset? It looked like he might have. I think he wave dashed as soon as he hit the ground. And that slight touch from Zamway almost was enough to get it by Zeph. A double tap. You can see Zeph getting that touch, throwing off Matane, but Matane still recovers. Ball bouncing out to the middle. Speed from Taz. A miss hit. That was vulnerable. Ube just a light hit, and that was tough for him to get behind that ball with enough power.
And I feel like RCD, they're not aggressive enough to try and punish anything. Big miss there as well. Echo Zulu had a chance to get the second security goal.
And you can see Zamway going for that bump play again, but he'll be out of position with low boost. However, getting back in time. And now the dunk from Ghostfire. Matane getting demoed after clearing it.
50.
And that 50 actually bouncing off the spawning player. Goes back out to the middle, and Zamway scores! Disaster for Echo Zulu. You see him spawn right there.
I didn't even see that at first. I thought that was just from the 50. Wait, he spawned in position.
Never lucky.
Oh
Never
my
lucky.
Goodness. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
That has to be the first time I've seen a spawn play such a critical role.
Literally everything came down to that spawn. And the time, the odds of that even happening in general. To touch the ball up the spawn, but then get the pass in. Wow.
The Rocket League gods on the side of Espanyol.
That is incredible. And they're back in it.
See if another 0-second goal happens. Mr. Ubi made it happen last time, and here's the setup. Zeph getting blocked out, and we have overtime. The next goal wins the series. And a good pop-up over to Zamway. The dunk down. He's going to get out. Gets a bump as well. Going for the zero boost flick. Huge height on it. Taz needs some help. Echo Zulu forced to use a lot of boost to get that stop. Mr. Ubi off the backboard. Matane, a long hit. Ghostfire is going to slow it down. Lands on Zamway's head.
I mean, how are RCD going to take advantage of it? Barely managing. Here comes the bump from Ghostfire. Doesn't get the touch. And the pressure has been all RCD so far.
Zamway centers it. Long hit. Ghostfire.
Double commit.
And the demo. Brief numbers advantage. Matane off the backboard and a key stop from Ghostfire. Another challenge from Zamway. Zeph puts it down. Ghostfire back towards net. Taz back in time, but it's bouncing out to the middle. The shot saved. Another follow-up. The pace. Floating towards net. Off the post and hits. Ghostfire in overtime. Getting the win for Espanyol.
And look at the patience. He just delayed it so much. And they win off of the spawn to get them into overtime. RCD. Oh, James, are you okay, man? I've never seen anything like that.
I am speechless. I can't believe it. Espanyol.
Wow,
pulling a rabbit out of the hat. And that hat seemed empty, but they made it work. Unreal. Just magical.
Yeah, I mean,
things going the right way, and that has to be devastating for Echo Zulu. A series where you're in the driver's seat, you feel like you should have won it, and now instead of improving to 2-4, you're sitting down there at 1-5, and that was a hard-fought series.
I mean,
I honestly, my heart goes out to Echo Zulu because having no control over where you spawn, you don't get to pick that. If you're new to Rocket League, you don't pick where you spawn.
Yeah,
you just spawn somewhere. And he spawned in the worst spot possible. That ball bouncing up and then leading to that goal.
It's one thing and they had the lead. It's not even like a matter of it just affected their mentality and that's it. It was literally like last seconds they get the spawn goal. It was a perfect pass
Who are you paying off? All right, who are you paying off?
I don't know.
Espanyol, you're just 2-0 right now, and you knew this was going to happen. What is that? What's that keyboard doing? What are you
I actually chose where he was going to spawn with the keyboard.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, I was controlling in the backfield.
Oh my gosh!
I was typing, submitting some kind of command. But in all seriousness, you're looking back as Echo Zulu, and you can't even think about where you went wrong. It just came down to the overtime, and it just swung out of your control, and they just couldn't bring it back.
Very few opportunities that randomness can impact a game.
Yeah.
We witnessed a moment right there. So tough break for Echo Zulu, but a big break for Espanyol. We're going to go to a break, but when we come back, we have Method versus Vertex. Don't go anywhere.
I've got you hanging on my words. Taste so sweet even when they hurt. You wanna feel, wanna fall in love, wanna give it all up, but you don't want to lose your control. Are we playing this game? Are we playing this game? Are you too afraid, or are you giving in? Let the games begin, 'cause I play to win. I playing this game.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Rocket League Rival Series. We're here for week number 3, and we're starting off with Europe as per usual. Now, before the break, we saw RCD Espanyol commit daylight robbery against Echo Zulu as they take that game 5 with a spawn goal fashion. To talk more about that, I have two of my friends joining me yet again on the desk. I have Subi Smash and Stacks. Gentlemen, we have to talk about this goal because it was the last thing we saw, and we were pretty much all speechless on the desk here. Talk to me about a spawn goal and how heartbroken Echo Zulu must be feeling right now.
Well, it's one of those times where just randomness can really roll in your favor, and that's exactly what happens. But I think more importantly, RCD Espanyol really held on there, even though they had some mistakes. They had spacing issues. They were able to take it to Game 5, and Ghostfire was able to close the series out, even though Zeph was sitting there in net, got a save on that first shot, just couldn't bring his team to victory.
Yeah, over the course of a season, you need a little luck to go your way sometimes. At some point, if you're going to get a win that maybe on paper you don't deserve to have, you need something to go your way. Finally, RCD Espanyol had something like that go their way, and ultimately they get a win out of it, and they needed a win in the worst way. So too did Echo Zulu, but ultimately RCD Espanyol kind of saves their season a little bit, and they still have a chance going forward.
They did indeed, and to be honest, they put the work in. They got to Game 5, so it wasn't exactly like they stole the entire show there from Echo Zulu. They obviously went that further mile into the Game 5, and they managed to clutch it up, so there we go. Stacks, last week, we actually spoke about Ghostfire. Now, we've already heard his name popping up here, there, and everywhere. How do you think he performed this week? Because we discussed how he was potentially that make-or-break player for this team.
Yeah, he took kind of a back seat during parts of that series. He had Mr. Ube help him out a ton in that series, and he needed that as well. But Ghostfire was still Ghostfire. He was still one of the better players on the field on both teams. I think he was maybe a little bit overshadowed by Zeph, who was an outstanding substitute stand-in for Echo Zulu. But, Ghostfire, I think he felt a lot less pressure to be the guy trying to carry RCD Espanyol, and as a result, they looked a lot better as a whole team.
100%. And Subi, I was going to ask you about Zeph, of course, coming on as a substitute here, really making a huge impact. We don't see that often from subs. I mean, he's come on and he's thought, well, this is my chance to shine. So that's exactly what he did. He lit it up.
Well, exactly. He realized that opportunities like this aren't going to present themselves the entire season. So, hey, you've got one shot. You've got nothing to lose. Go out there and make a mark on this game. He did exactly that. And honestly, RCD was lucky that they were playing against Team Echo Zulu in this matchup, because if they were facing anyone in the top 5, there's no way that they're walking away with a victory. Because they face one of the worst teams in the league, they pull out this win.
Yeah, Zeph getting that opportunity, I think, shows exactly what the Rival Series is all about. It's about opportunity. Sometimes you become a starter through just showing up for a scrim and somebody else doesn't. That's what happened with Bullsend in North America. And sometimes you just get picked up for a random tryout and you catch lightning in a bottle. Sometimes you're like Magoo and you show up from work during the play-in and, you kind of make a name for yourself. That's what Zeph did there. I think he looked very well, looked very good for Team Echo Zulu there. Wouldn't surprise me to see him playing more often as the season wraps up.
Well, and one thing that's also important, should he not play for Team Echo Zulu, he has more game tape for himself to say, hey, look, guys, I've got Rival Series experience, and when game day comes, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to put shot on shot after shot in the back of the net because what was he shooting, Sax? Like 65, 70% at the end of the day?
Yeah, at one point he was 75%. It took him 22 seconds to get his first Rival Series goal. If it's not with Echo Zulu, he'll be playing with somebody in the future.
It was
Exactly.
madness. Well, there's a method to our madness, and lucky for us, there's a method in the Rival Series as well, which is bringing us on to our next matchup. Method are taking on Team Vertex here. Now, I'm really excited to see how this one is going to go because, of course, Method here, they definitely have the upper hand against this Vertex team. Team Vertex haven't been doing so well in the Rival Series, actually seeing them very close to the bottom, if not the bottom of the standings board right now. But the question is, this Method squad, of course, they have that wonderful addition of Tadpole to Rix Ronde and Burrito B, but are they going to be playing down to the oppositions this week? That's the question for me. I think it's kind of easy to be able to do that, and it's having that professional head on your shoulders to be able to elevate your play.
Yeah, that's definitely what Method is going to have to do as they are facing up Team Vertex. Now Team Vertex is in ninth with that technicality of Team Echo Zulu just losing. They were tied up, but Method went 0-3 against Baguette Squad. Not something they wanted to do last week. Off stream on the B stream, they played Underwater Squad, went 3-1. So they turned it around quick. I don't expect them to play down, to your question, down to the level of Team Vertex. I really expect them to come forward and play their best Rocket League because they realize how much is riding, not only just on this match, but every match, therefore, after that first loss.
Yeah, for Method, I think that loss last week was a huge eye-opener for them. I think we're starting almost to believe the hype that, hey, yeah, we are this good. We just show up and we win. And Baguette Squad showed up and just punched them right in the mouth. So I think for Method, getting that win over Underwater Squad, especially the way they did, they had to battle in the last two games of that series. Tadpole was still left off the scoreboard for the most part, and Rix Ronde had to step up, and he did. And he got some help from Burrito B as well. That weekend was huge for Method. I think it's going to serve them very well moving forward.
Fabulous. Well, we know our next question coming up now, guys, of course. Which side are you on? Subi, I'm starting with you.
Well, when it's Team Method and you have Tadpole, Rix Ronde, and Burrito B, it's always going to be hard to pick against them. But when you're looking at Team Vertex, who only has one win on the entire season, I don't think there's any way that anybody could pick them unless you're just a diehard fan. And for me, I've got to vote with my brain on this one, and I have to go with Method taking this. I'm going to say 3-1.
If he only had a brain. No, I got Method as well, though. Even a blind squirrel comes to the right conclusion every once in a while. They should win this on paper. And even though last week was not pretty, I think they bounced back, and they could make a serious run to the top of the standings.
Well, I've missed you guys roasting each other all week, so I'm glad to have you back on the desk. I'm actually going to be going with Method myself because I don't think there's any madness choosing Method. They're an incredible team, and I'm excited to see what they can do against Team Vertex. Without further ado, guys, we are ready to go, so let's roll on the game.
All eyes, I think, might actually be on Burrito B this time around, Subi. We talked a lot about Tadpole last time around, talked about how he needed some help, and I think he's gotten that kind of help. Burrito B now near the top of the league in assists. He's never going to be your top scorer, but I think he has done a great job setting the table for Rix and Tadpole.
Well, when you have Tadpole on your team, all you need to do is put that ball towards the middle, top of the box, and Tadpole's going to find his mark. He has improved his accuracy since we first saw him in the Rival Series, just tremendously, just padding his stats. Right now, he's sitting at 28% on the season, 11 total goals, 9 total assists. If you're on Team Vertex, you have to shut down Tadpole.
On the other side, it is Koka, who was phenomenal in Vertex's only win of the season when they knocked off Flomp. Came in with 3 goals on the season. He scored 7 in that series.
All 3 pushed forward. Great clear from Rix. Good catch from Tadpole, but a wonderful save coming out from Koka. That was a good opportunity for Method that was squandered by the great defense from Team Vertex.
Gets it done on both sides of the field. Now we'll see if Vertex can break out on the offensive half. Rizex? Has the ball taken away by Rix Ronde, and a quick counterattack from Burrito B. Has Tadpole waiting in the wings. That ball will get in front, and it's blocked away again by Dumaine.
Good challenge there from Burrito B to go up early, the pass across, but Coco once again there for the save. Already 2 on the board, and Rizex putting one on himself. The defense doing an absolute stand-out job for Team Vertex.
Dumaine pushes that ball forward, but it's right to Tadpole. And again, Team Vertex being forced to take on a lot of shots, but that one ricochets off of an orange car and into the net, and Rizex will get credit for the goal.
Just a millimeter to the left, and this ball's not finding its way in the back of the net, but look at the orange trail going all the way down the field off of a Method player, and sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles.
So Rizex, who had 4 goals himself in that series, didn't have any quite like that in the win over Floppersant, but he's got the first goal in this critical series for Team Vertex. Coca almost added another. Dumaine looking now for Rizex, and he almost scored one himself, but this time Tadpole makes the save.
And that's a goal you have to put in the back of the net, especially when you're facing one of the best teams in the league. But how about the follow coming out from Dumaine to put another one up on the scoreboard for Team Vertex?
Something about playing on the mainstream has not fared well for Team Method, and another finds the net in the first just over 90 seconds. 2-0 the lead for Team Vertex. Poised to turn their season around and make a run towards the top 6, maybe even the top 4 if some results go their way. Here is Ronde losing possession to Coca. And it should be Vertex's ball with plenty of boost to work with, but Rizex did not go for that corner boost. Dumaine will take over. He has Coca waiting. Can Coca get on the board? No, Rix Ronde is right there.
That was a beautiful idea. Great passing play coming out, but just not finding their mark. And double touch from Burrito B towards midfield. Tadpole looking to dribble. He's got 2 defenders that clear that ball into the corner. And again, Team Vertex holding down the fort on defense.
Tadpole has been very quiet on the offensive end. He's now made 21 saves in the last 8 games that he has played. Doesn't have many goals to go with those saves. Here is Burrito B. He's got Tadpole coming on, and a booming shot off the crossbar.
What a save from Coca. He gets his 3rd. Rizex has 2. Dumaine has 1. They are just putting up an absolute wall of just fortitude back there.
Coca leading the team in saves. He's added 3 more, as Subi mentioned. Now Tadpole gonna come around and does get that ball out to Burrito B, but Dumaine right there for another save.
I'm loving the passing plays that we're seeing from Method. They're not connecting perfectly. We've seen some that are leading to good shots on target, but the defense just beautiful right now from Vertex. They really need to maybe go for those demos that we were seeing early on in the stream today, as I don't think we've seen one yet come out from Method.
Dumaine will try to follow this up, but he's run out of power, so now it will be Burrito B. And he does have that ball over Coca. Here comes Method. Looking for that demo, Burrito B running interference in the net. Got a piece of one defender, but it wasn't enough.
All 3 members of Team Vertex in that corner. They finally spread out a little bit, and that ball just squirts out towards mid, but here comes Tadpole looking for the pinch, and a great challenge. Good 50-50 towards mid. Coca over 1, but Tadpole saves the day. Stacks as we near the last minute of gameplay. Method still chasing 2. They have yet to form any type of offense in this match.
Yeah, the best shot coming from Tadpole that Coca just barely got a piece of to preserve the shutout. Rizex adding to his shot total. Takes over 40% of Team Vertex's shots on the season. No surprise that he has a goal, though. Certainly a surprise the way he got it. Burrito B looking for a teammate downfield. Tadpole is in the area, but he was on his way back. It's a disjointed attack in the closing seconds. Doesn't result in a shot on net. And again, the ball cleared away. Tadpole quickly turns on this, though. Can he get this ball in front? No, it's Dumaine again. Great pass from Burrito B, trying to add another assist.
They need this.
Rix Ronde was not ready, and that ball cleared away. And the final 10 seconds will tick away. Burrito B trying to get involved in the offense. He can't score either. They have had their opportunities, but Method will come away scoreless unless they had one of no consequence, and they do not. Team Vertex continues to keep it rolling.
10 saves from the entire team and 4 apiece for Dumaine and Coca. It's not a sustainable way to play Rocket League, but sometimes it works well in your favor. They just turned away shot after shot that were coming out from Method. Look at that. Every single shot Method put on the board, Team Vertex was there for a save. You don't see that too often. Method just couldn't find an opening, and they weren't being creative enough in the offensive zone. You saw passing plays, but you could read it from a mile away, and you didn't even need a telescope.
Yeah, and for Vertex, Coca didn't factor in much on the offensive end. His presence was felt defensively, and boy, was he outstanding on the defensive end for Team Vertex, a team that, again, coming into even last week, they needed to start putting some W's on the board. They did, beating Flomp, and now they're punching up again. They've got a big win over Method to start the day.
Yeah, big win in game 1, but most importantly to me, Rizex and Dumaine, both getting a goal apiece and both on the season shooting less than 20%. Generally, when you see teams that have 2 players under 20%, they're not positive in that win-loss column. Right now, they're doing a great job of putting those shots in the back of the net. That's the difference maker against a team like Method. If you're able to have high accuracy, you're going to win these matches because Method plays such a dive and dash type of defense where they want to push one man forward. Team Vertex is countering beautifully.
Team Vertex comes into this match giving up 2.5 goals a game. That average will plummet if they continue with the defensive effort we saw in game number 1. Rix Ronde has other plans, but that touch has been given straight to Coca. Now Dumaine, quick turnaround. Burrito B and Rix Ronde combine in the net to make another stop. But Rizex gets forced off the ball by Rix Ronde. That's off the bar, popped away by Tadpole. It is just enough as Burrito B will clear the zone.
Just enough, just at the right time. All 3 members of Method were so low on boost. That last-ditch effort from Tadpole to get that ball towards mid really saved the day. And Rix Ronde challenging in the offensive half with no boost. Gets the boost steal, but he's really out of play here, leaving 2 teammates down in net.
Played right back in by Dumaine. Backboard, Rix Ronde set it straight out. And Burrito B is there, but he's going to need help. So he's not going to score this himself. Leaves it for Rix Ronde. I don't know that Ronde was ready for that ball to drop to him.
Yeah, could have left that for Tadpole, but you never know when those challenges come out. Booming clear downfield, and that's the difference right now between the offensive Method and the offensive Team Vertex. Clears all the way downfield over the heads of Method. Method, a very aggressive team on offense, and Team Vertex countering just wonderful in this match.
Tadpole now over the last 8 games, we talked about his offense, only has 3 goals in the last 8 games that Method has played. And now coming up on 8.5. Cheeky touch to get that ball through, but Tadpole makes the save. And that's what he's been resigned to for much of the last 3 series that Method has played. He's been more of a defensive presence. It was enough to beat Underwater Squad, but it is not going to be enough to beat Team Vertex the way they're playing.
No, and back when Tadpole was with Triple Trouble, he was that defensive third. You saw so many saves come out from him, so starting to resort back to that defensive prowess that he used to have. But right now, Method could really use his offense, but still all tied up, and Tadpole's got to turn quick on this, and good bump there from Rizex to get him out of the play.
Loose ball won by Method, and a chance to get on the board for the first time in this series. Set away by Rizex, who has been just as good as anybody in this series. Ooh. And Dumaine steps up for his second goal. Again, just a loose ball in front.
Just a shot coming like it's out of a slingshot, 73 miles per hour. Just a scorcher on target right at halftime. Team Vertex doing a great job, and Dumaine gets his second goal of the series.
They are out shooting Method 6-1 here in this game. Rix Ronde can't drop that behind Rizex. And again, cleared away by Coca and Team Vertex, who do not look like the same team we saw at the start of the season. Certainly not the same team that we saw gets swept by Discombobulators the only other time we saw them on the mainstream.
Look at that
Another pass to Dumaine, who has been red hot so far. His shot is blocked. Ryzek save as well. Saved by Burrito B. And Koka just slows down the attack, not trying to do too much with the ball.
And here comes Burrito B looking for a challenge. He's starting to push up a little too soon, a little too early, but a good pass from Tadpole. Read out by Dumaine, and again, a bombing clear downfield over the heads of Method. Method need to start thinking about possibly spreading out their offense and leaving one back behind midfield.
They certainly have to be thinking about pressing forward, going up on 9 minutes now without even getting a goal in this series. You know, when we talk about teams getting shut out, we're normally talking about RCD Espanyol, who, despite getting the win, they were still shut out 2 more times earlier today. Burrito B lets that one pop up, and everybody misses here. Burrito B gets a crucial touch. Otherwise, it could have been another blistering shot coming on. That is just wide. No follow-up again from Method. Tadpole way at the back, and Burrito B was on his way back. It seemed like the communication, Subi, was just a little late.
Yeah, the comms aren't active right now from Method, and you could see that with the gameplay that's being shown on the field. The pass, way too soft and light out towards the top of the box. Team Vertex is having no issue turning away pass after pass that's coming out from Method.
Koka looking for Dumaine, maybe for the dagger in game 2, but Burrito B makes another save. Ryzex will bring another one in. Vertex going to be thinking about maybe going into the shell here as well. It would be nice to have an insurance goal, but you got to make sure you don't leave the gate open behind you. It is Tadpole over towards Burrito B. Don't believe he got a touch on that. And now Rix Ronde racing back. He's going to need to factor into this play sooner or later. And that is down towards the ceiling, towards the ceiling, towards the floor. Not the play that Rix Ronde and Method were looking for. And Team Vertex has another shutout.
Yeah, and Dumaine gets his 10th of the season against one of the toughest squads to do it against, Method. 7 saves, 0 offense presence, almost the entire match. All 3 members playing well, but Team Vertex just playing better throughout the entire 5 minutes. Just seemed like Method couldn't figure out how to break through even the first part of Team Vertex's defense.
This does not look like a team that's averaging over 2 goals a game in Method. They are struggling. They are, to say they are disjointed on the offensive end might be putting it lightly, because just nobody is there for the passes to the midfield. And even when the passes do get there, you still have the defense of Koka and Vertex as a whole. Again, Koka very silent on the offensive end, but yet again making his presence felt at midfield.
Well, right now the difference maker is those clears that are going over Method's head. You're going to see it a ton. Watch the replays back, Method. It's going over your head every single time you're pushing into offense. All you need to do is pull one man back, because generally, what do we really just turn away? Those long clears, because they immediately go back into your own zone. But when all 3 members are sitting there, just bomb it over their head, and offense starts for you automatically. You don't even have to think about it. It's just happening. It's falling right in your lap.
Vertex comes in with the 2nd worst goal differential in the league at -18. It is only -15. It is not much better, but the 2-0 scoreline is looking a lot better. Burrito B looking for Method's first goal, and it does come from an unlikely source.
And what a redirect coming out from Burrito B. Tadpole faking the flip reset. Burrito B goes left to force Dumaine into that post, and it opens the net wide up. 4:46 on the clock, and Method finally get their first of the series.
10 minutes and 14 seconds it took for Method to get one on the board. Now, they try to add more. It is going to be Tadpole looking for a bump. He got a piece of Koka. Now, Dumaine will clear this away. And a slow counterattack from Team Vertex. Dies at midfield. That ball just outside the dotted lines coming down. Method are back in business here, but doesn't look like either team has a ton of offense going. It's more offensive opportunity as Rix Ronde throws one at the back wall, but it is cleared away.
And Vertex is going to have numbers here. Coca looking for the defender. No, he decides to be present for the pass, which doesn't come out. Rizex just throws it on net. And who other than Tadpole to get the save or clear there, but Rizex there for the cleanup towards mid.
Dumaine, great pass out to Rizex. Now Coca looking for his first of the series. And the ball just drops in front to be cleared away by Rix Ronde.
Ooh, that was so dangerous. Rizex just squeezing in at the last second to put a touch on that ball. Dumaine, last one back, gonna have to wait. Gets the challenge, but a good 50 from Burrito B, and oh, Rizex there for the clutch save to keep this game within one.
Burrito B got a big bump, though, that allows Method to stay on the offensive end. Otherwise, there was going to be a counterattack from Method. And good play there by Rizex to get around two, but they still lose possession. And the ball loses front, and Rix Ronde happens to score it.
Just watching this. Rix Ronde's up right now. And somehow stays in the air, gets the touch, keeps it away from both defenders in net, and Method go up 2 goals.
There might be words in the dictionary to describe what that was.
It's called luck.
Okay, we'll go with that. Now Rizex looking for Coca. Instead, it's Dumaine who has to come up. Now Coca over, he had Dumaine over there. Now he does finally make the turn, but the defensive Method has had time to reset. They were in a tough spot for just a moment, and it looked like Vertex was going to get one of those goals right back. They still might. They still will.
And Burrito B scrambling to get boost. Watch him fly by out of the camera. Coca sees it, puts the ball towards mid, and Rizex just has to put a good shot on target inside of that right post and bring Team Vertex within one.
And they're a team that we've seen they can score from out of nowhere. We saw it against Flomp. We've seen it in this series. They've had a little luck go their way with one of the goals in game 1. That ball bounced right back in. Rix Ronde going to have a look, but Coca is there. So now it'll be Burrito B. Tadpole is getting chased away from midfield by Rizex, and that slows down Method just enough and allows for this counterattack by the man himself. Rizex ties the game.
And he just says thank you very much for that perfect pass, Rix, and puts it right over his head, makes him go left to right. So hard as a defender to get back in net, almost impossible. And this game is tied up, but how about Rizex putting the second one on the board for game number 3?
He will not get any scoreboard credit for chasing Tadpole away at midfield, but it was such a critical play. Now Burrito B is going to try to find Tadpole. Doesn't have Rizex to chase him away. Backboard is sent away by Coca, but played right back in and around the board. Dangerous play, and Vertex almost got punished for it.
What a diving save coming out from Dumaine, and this ball once again turned over by Rix Ronde. He's got to be careful with those touches. Got to be really aware of where every player is on the field, because that's twice in a row where he's just put the ball in the lap of Team Vertex. And good touch from Rix, but sniffed out by Rizex. And turned away again from Dumaine is Rix Ronde.
Big clear downfield as Vertex looks to continue their momentum. And if they manage to take this and ultimately end up sweeping Method after being down 2-0 in game 3, you really start to worry about Method's psyche going into the second half of their season. That ball intercepted by Rizex. Tadpole didn't get it out of harm's way. Dumaine coming in again, and that's a good clear by Burrito B. But again, Method cannot break this pressure. It is constant, and Rizex got a piece of Burrito B in the net.
What an offensive just powerhouse is this Team Vertex squad. Coca sees the wide opening, and Burrito B's taken out of the equation. 3-2 in favor of Team Vertex, just under a minute to go. This is Nightmare City if you're on Method.
Rix Ronde looking for Tadpole. Still can't find him. And still Tadpole without a goal in this series. after he had a lightning start in the first couple of series Method played. It has not been pretty. Another ball thrown in front, missed by Dumaine, but Koka will take this away. And he doesn't just boom it downfield, he'll just play the possession game, try to kill off the final 15 seconds now. Good touch to get over Rizex. Now Burrito B, the Tadpole, blocked by Dumaine. He's got a full tank of boost. Good defensive posture for Team Vertex, and how fitting if they could score one more to put it away. They just about did, but Team Vertex gets their second win of the season, and you know what they call that, Subi? A winning streak.
Do you know what else they call it? A sweep.
Yes,
coming
they do.
out, and both losses on the season for Method are in the fashion of a sweep. Not the way you want to come out on stream. Both times that we've seen them, they just flop straight on their faces. You have to start asking yourselves, what do you need to do if you're on Team Method? But because it just seems like both losses, they've played the exact same way. If I compared game tapes, I could overlay them and they would almost sync up perfectly.
And Method, we worried about a downward spiral for them after the loss to Baguette Squad. It looked like they had just righted the ship with the win over Underwater Squad, but they've got a match with Monaco coming up that we're going to see after the show here, and they have this loss to Team Vertex that really sticks out like a nasty blemish on their record. And if they don't have a win over Monaco later, they're going to be 500 on the season. A team that started looking like they were going to be a top 2 contender, now they're going to be fighting to stay afloat in their final few matches.
Well, and for those of you maybe just tuning in for the first week, this is the first time in the Rival Series where if you get first through fourth, you're not only just for sure staying in the Rival Series, you give yourself an opportunity to go into the RLCS. Method not wanting to go into the 5th and 6th spot. Yeah, you retain your spot in Rival Series, which is awesome. I would love to see you guys again, but I would really like to see them go into the RLCS and dominate there. But right now, the gameplay we're seeing from them, not going to be happening. It is not happening. They have to change their gameplay. They have to change it now because, 2 losses on the season? And 3, you might find yourself down in 7 and 8.
It would be just like Method, right? To go from, we need to be top 2, we'll finish 3rd. We need to be top 4, we'll finish 5th or 6th. They're getting to be like Veloce levels of, all right, we're sick of seeing you guys here. Let's get you up to the RLCS. But hey, there is another team that is looking for a shot at the RLCS. It is AS Monaco, as another European football club assigned a Rival Series team. And once again, ARG gets to greet them. ARG and AS Monaco coming your way next.
Can you feel it? The fire in your soul, leaving at the chance for love. Can you feel it? Haunting your senses, letting all your feelings go. But I can feel it rushing through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing the hand now we're dead, but we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free. Let the silhouette cast upon your heart, turning every little moment into scars. Baby, it's our chance to make a start, so we can fly.
I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we will make it. I know that we.
I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel the fire inside, so there won't be no fear tonight. We crossed the line, and now it's clear to see the light behind the suffering. Believe we'll finally be free.
Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Rivals series. Now, before the break, there was plenty of madness to their method as Team Vertex dealt the boys in orange a 3-0 sweep. Who would have thought it? I certainly didn't think, and I think you two guys also did not predict how incredible that game was going to go for Team Vertex. Subi Smash Stacks. I mean, I'm shocked to my core with the result of this game. I believe in Team Vertex and that they can do it, and miracles do happen. But in that fashion, in that 3-0 sweep fashion, did you see that coming?
Yes, it was
Yeah, oh, yeah,
reverse. It was
totally.
reverse week. That's why I picked Method. No, I didn't see that whatsoever. That was an incredible performance by them. They saw the weaknesses of Method and they just decided to pick them apart. And it just seemed like Team Method was a snowball just rolling downhill, getting bigger and bigger, heavier and heavier, and they just couldn't get out of the murky water whatsoever. Just seemed like nothing they did was working for them.
Yeah, the honeymoon period is over, too. I mean,
Right.
Tadpole was a phenomenal addition to the team. He had a great start to the season, but when he stopped scoring, somebody else needed to pick up the slack. Rix Ronde tried, Burrito B tried in that series, but it did not work out. They didn't look like a full unit. It looked a lot like three individuals running around trying to play Rocket League, and Team Vertex just stymied them.
Well, I don't think you can put all the blame on Tadpole because
no.
Team Vertex were singling him out. You could tell that they were trying to cut off his passing. Anywhere he was on the field, Team Vertex was there shadowing him. They realize how dangerous a player like Tadpole is and say, hey, if we take him off the field, we're not looking at like a 2-3 because he's still there, but we're taking away the score. Let's let Burrito B and Rix Ronde try and do something against us, and it worked.
Yeah, there's that one play where Tadpole's starting to come up in midfield. I think it was game 3. And Rizex runs him off the line. Runs him off the center line, makes him peel away. And what happens? The offense dies right there. 5 seconds later, it seems like Rizex scores. That's the series in a nutshell for you. And Team Vertex, I think, on the defensive end, on the offensive end, and around midfield, they played exceptionally well. As well-deserved a win as you're ever going to see in the rival series.
I think that's what happens when you depend so heavily on a certain player on your roster. If the three of you aren't performing as a team, this can happen. You know, Tadpole gets cut off by an opposition. They're smart. They want to make sure that they have that advantage over them, and that is the way to do it. Method have some serious fundamental issues to get over if they want to climb back up that ladder. They're now in that 5th position, out of the top 4. They were in the 3rd position. I mean, that is some serious heartbreak for them, and they have a little way to go to climb back up to the top there. But gents, we actually have another game in our hands, the last one of Europe for the day. So let's have a look at who we're going to be seeing on our screens. Next, we've got ARG versus AS Monaco. Previously, the team known as Fade Away, with that beautiful name change here coming in. We've got Tiger, Extra, Ignite then, ARG, we've got ClayX, Marked by 8, and Monkey Moon. Stacks, Monkey Moon was a name coming off your lips a lot last week. Talk to me about why this guy is such a standout for the team.
Well, he's a standout for the team because he's the only player that is shooting accurately. He's got 2 teammates and ClayX and Marked by 8 who combine to shoot 11.4%. Meanwhile, Monkey Moon himself, he's scoring on one out of every 4 shots that he takes. It's no secret why he has more goals than his teammates combined, and much like what we were talking about with Tadpole and with Ghostfire previously with RCD Espanyol, as Monkey Moon goes, so too does ARG go.
I mean, Stacks, Subi, let's just talk about Ignite and how he's fitting in right now with this chemistry of the team. AS Monaco, new name change, but hopefully the same set of skills that we've been seeing from these guys. How do you feel that they're faring in this competition right now?
Well, so far they're sitting pretty at 3-1. They're doing well in the rival series, but to their standards, I would argue they're not doing as good as they want to. When you look at Tigre, when you look at Ignite, they're kind of slacking. When you look at their shooting percentages, their total goals, total assists, they're still contributing, but all the pressure's on Extra right now. He's shooting almost 30% on the season, which is almost unheard of to really ride that out through the entire season. They're about halfway done, so I don't expect that to stay up there. But right now, Ignite and Tigre, they just need to hold on. They're doing great. They have that speed. They're used to playing at RLCS caliber. Tigre especially, RLCS with Mouse Sports rather. They know what it's like to play at that speed, and they're bringing it down to the rival series. The speed is just a little bit slower, it seems like, against some of these teams, and they're capitalizing on that.
Yeah, there's a great interview that Ignite did with Rocketeers. It's on the Rocket League eSports subreddit if you want to check it out, where he was talking about he was ready to retire before Tigre hit him up for some tryouts, and there's one great quote. I think it's even the headline of the article. It says, "I'm hungry to get back to where I know I belong and crush everyone there." And I think he has had a great start to this season. He has more assists than the rest of his team combined. He's contributing with goals as well. I think this is a great bounce back for Ignite, who had, to say the least, a tumultuous offseason.
Yeah, definitely did. I mean, he got dropped by his team didn't know if he wanted to play again, but I've got to say I'm super happy to see him once again competing because, I mean, he's one of my favorite players when it comes to Europe. RLCS, Rival Series, he's just an all-around great guy. So to see him doing well just makes it even that much better.
I did wonder how he would fare this season of the Rival Series because the last time he played in the Rival Series, it was a little different. It was the first season of the Rival Series. First of all, the atmosphere around the desk was very different as well. But the gameplay was so different too. And to come back into this iteration of the Rival Series where the bar between, or the gap between RLCS and Rival Series is much smaller than it was when he played the first time around, he hasn't missed a beat.
It is indeed. And do you know what? The gap for predictions is also getting a lot more smaller because I don't think I'm in the lead anymore, guys. I'm not quite sure, but we'll find out after this game how we're all faring in terms of predictions. So, of course, Subi, I'm starting with you.
It's always fun to see a team play once they get picked up by a brand new org because there's a lot of pressure riding on them. This team's putting all their faith in them. But with that being said, I've got to go with AS Monaco. I don't see them dropping many games, if any, against this ARG team. ARG is punching up for sure in this match.
Yeah, for Monaco, the question for me always was, can iGnite put this offseason behind him and focus up on this season? I think he has. I think he's going to be a big part of their performance today. I've got AS Monaco in this series.
Well, I think it's a tough decision, actually, gentlemen, because I think both teams really, it could go either way with how skilled they are. I'm going to have to choose AS Monaco. I'm going to bring it home for the Desk team. Yep.
Oh, no. That's the second one where all three of us pick the same, and watch, all of us get it wrong again.
Oh, I know. I fully expect now that ARG is just going to win by, I don't know, probably 7 goals in the first game. And
Don't speak it into existence,
but
please.
too
Don't
late.
do it. I know he's done it. It's too late. Oh, well, you've cursed us all. But come on, AS Monaco, bring it home for the Desk. But it's a very interesting matchup. I think that, if Monkey Moon and the boys are going to perform to their best ability, we might be seeing a complete turn of table here for our predictions. So, without further ado, guys, it's time to get into the game and find out.
AS Monaco is having quite the outstanding season. They're having the kind of season that you see out of teams that promote Subi because they've shut out teams 7 different times, including a complete series shutout against RCD Espanyol. I want to walk you through some of the teams that have done that, by the way, for you at home. The Peeps, Allegiance, Fnatic, Veloce, Birds, all teams that then promoted that season to the RLCS. We are underway in game number 1 with both teams facing must-win situations here. Monaco needs this to keep pace at the top and maybe start to break themselves away from the pack. ARG needs this to keep some top 4 hopes alive and maybe even top 6. They lose this and you're starting to worry about them sliding even further down.
Not a game you want to lose if you're ARG, but it's such a tough one to win. AS Monaco really showing that they're probably the best team in Rival Series, making a case for it at least, especially with the earlier match from Discombobulators. Tigre with a good demo, but iGnite just going to catapult that one up, and Mark by 8 sends it into the corner, but still, they can't get out of their offensive half. Look at that pass, and iGnite puts it on target. First goal on the board for AS Monaco.
The 9th goal of the season for iGnite, and he starts the series off with a bang. Sees the defenders on the left-hand side. Where does he go? Right hand. Perfectly placed. And an early 1-0 lead for Monaco.
And a good kickoff in favor of Monaco once again. See that ball just boomed down, but Mark by 8 sends it right back into the orange half. Monkey Moon with the back pass to Clay X. And watch out for that, Stacks. The double commit coming out from Extra and iGnite. Kind of worrisome to see that so early on in game number 1.
This is a team in AS Monaco that is not saving many of the shots that they face. They're only saving about 2/3 of the shots they face. If ARG can run up some shots, and they can, they usually average about 9 or 10 a game. You have to imagine then that that's maybe 3 shots getting by the defense. This ball dropped down to the opposite corner. It will be Clay X to take it out of the zone for ARG. Now Tigre looking for iGnite. He's found him. Good move to get the ball downfield, but now it will be Extra to take over. He's quickly onto this. iGnite running interference on ClayX in the net, but ClayX avoids him. Monkey Moon makes the save. Mark by 8 will need to clear this, and he does. And ARG have weathered the storm.
Good back pass there from Tigre to get it to Extra, then Extra back pass himself. And look, they still have the ball in the blue half. Up is iGnite so fast. Extra in the air, drops it down. And Monkey Moon clears this away, but they can't seem to break out of their own half. Starting to struggle as far as boost is concerned.
This ball goes all the way across for who else but iGnite. ClayX having trouble with that. A little indecisiveness has cost ARG some valuable time trying to get out of the zone. Now they do. iGnite can't get a piece of this. Or the second time around, ClayX drops one down and in.
Bar down and in, baby. ClayX goes up, puts the shot down. The ball finds the back of the net, but I think a little miscommunication led to this goal. iGnite flew off the back wall. You saw Extra with a little bit of a pop jump. Thought he should go for it. I think he should have. Could have got the clear, but either way, we're all tied up 1-1 as we just passed halftime.
Tigre being a bit of a nuisance, though, not letting this ball out of the zone. A couple good challenges after the kickoff. And ClayX misses this, but that means Monkey Moon has forever and a day to bomb it downfield. Tigre, backboard, can't follow this himself, but iGnite should have been waiting, and he let that ball go right by him on the way out.
Yeah, push forward a little too far. ClayX gonna send this one down. Good read from Extra, and one thing ARG has to be cognizant of is anytime the ball is touched, just barely kept out, but anytime that ball is touched by AS Monaco, be wary because it's most likely a pass and someone's flying in to put a shot on target.
Marked by 8, all the way to the corner, needs one more touch, doesn't have it. Instead, Extra is there. We know all about Extra from last season. Both on the offensive and defensive end. He's had a lot of help this time around, and it has shown. ClayX again to the backboard. That's cleared away by Tigre. He'll need one more touch, and he has it on target, so Monkey Moon has to guide it to the corner.
Speaking of Monkey Moon, that's who you want to stop if you're on AS Monaco. He already has 15 goals on the season with only 4 matches played. That equates to almost 0.9 goals per game, which is very high when you're talking about competitive Rocket League.
Extra, have to land on the wall, but can't get another touch because ClayX is right there. He's all over him. Mark looking for Monkey Moon. This is ARG strategy. Give it to the big man and let him go, but he's blocked by Tigre. Mark will try. That's cut off by the AS Monaco defense. And now Tigre. This is going to be iGnite to go to the corner. Tough angle, and he couldn't get any power on it. Down to the final 20 seconds. Marked by 8, challenged by Extra. Now Tigre comes up with only 15 to go. And ARG a little slow getting this ball on the side. It allowed iGnite a shot. Now ClayX on the other side. This will fall to Monkey Moon. This is worst case scenario for Monaco, but iGnite clears it away. For the moment, they need one more clear, and they've got it. We go to overtime.
They are so lucky that ball didn't pop up off that bottom curve. Sometimes you'll see it almost take a 45-degree angle. Doesn't happen. We head to overtime in just game number 1. Extra puts that ball into the corner towards mid, and iGnite wins that 50-50. They have numbers for the time being, but marked by 8 cancels that offensive push.
AS Monaco very familiar with overtime. They played just last week the longest overtime, I believe, in Rival Series history. They went almost 9 minutes with Discombobulators.
9 minutes in overtime?
In overtime, yeah.
That is
8:56.
That's a record for sure.
Before they clinched it in Game 4 with a win over Discombobulators, handing them their first loss of the season. It is iGnite to drop one down for Tigre, and marked by 8 and company there for the clear.
Well, a little bit of scrambled play coming out from ARG. Don't want to see that in overtime, and in comes Tigre off the back wall over to Extra. Extra ends the game, and AS Monaco steal away game number 1.
Scrambling, good in golf, not so much in Rocket League, and that ball just got away from ARG. They had a tough time clearing the ball out. The communication broke down, the defense broke down, and AS Monaco steals one in overtime.
And they just make it look effortless when they're out there. Every challenge going in their favor, playing so well up and down the field. And what I love about this team is every time you're watching one player, you rarely see hesitation. They're never accelerating, braking. It's just constantly, I'm heading towards the ball. All right, teammates, I'm going for it. I'm 100% sure of it. And that's leading to these standout plays that we're seeing from iIgnite, from Extra. But that overtime ender coming out on the fast break, good way to end it and really put the pressure on ARG.
Something that ARG doesn't do to teams nearly often enough, I don't think, Subi, is get after them when they struggle to play a ball out of the zone. This time, Monaco did that same thing to ARG and punished them for it. I mean, that was ugly at the midfield line. ARG did not get away with it that time. AS Monaco, they win that game in OT, and now going forward, that's got to take a lot of the wind out of the sails of ARG.
Well, they kept it so close, but it just really felt like AS Monaco were running up and down the field at will. ARG hanging in tough against arguably the best team in the league, but that's not going to be good enough to win this series. They have to make a standout performance. Game number 2 is so important for them. They don't want to go down 0-2 and be forced into reverse sweep territory.
Monkey Moon will try to get the offense rolling this time around. We're underway in Game 2 on Neo Tokyo. PlayX right at iIgnite, and now Extra will play this downfield. Doesn't have any support, so he'll have to kind of slow play that. iIgnite will finally come on, and that's a good block up top. These first couple of minutes, Zuby, I think are going to be very important for ARG. You got to show that they're not rattled after that overtime loss. Very important for them to get the first goal and not allow shots like that from Tigre. Monkey Moon does make the save, and now he's going to score on the other side. We talk about ARG being a one-man show. Here you go, but how about that from PlayX?
Look at that. That is incredible. The redirect to push it downfield, not only with power, but with the elevation, so Monkey Moon can go up in the air, and he has just a wheelhouse of opportunities of where he can put that in net.
PlayX, the team leader in assists, just made his 12th of the season to give ARG their first lead in this series. Now PlayX at iIgnite. All the way downfield, stopped by Mark by 8. So PlayX will have this ball, and this is exactly what ARG needed to start off Game 2. Need to hold the lead this time. This is going to be PlayX playing around Extra. Back in it goes. And again, AS Monaco taking advantage of ARG, kind of moving very slowly out of the zone.
Yeah, and that's due to that lack of boost. Look at Mark by 8, 0, PlayX 0, and Monkey Moon finally got some, but that ball's over his head, forcing Mark by 8 in a 1v1. He does win that challenge, put offense back into the orange zone. And one thing that I'd like to see from ARG, and they've displayed it in this matchup, is taking advantage of every opportunity given to them, because AS Monaco is not going to give you a ton.
By the way, make that 3 overtime victories in a row for AS Monaco, with the winner here in Game 1. Now they're on the hunt looking to tie this game. And that shot's going to be blocked away by Monkey Moon. That's how they started the counterattack to score their first goal here. A save by Monkey Moon, a great redirect by PlayX. This will go to the backboard. PlayX does get a piece. Mark by 8 will throw it downfield, and AS Monaco goes back to the drawing board.
Those clears where the ball's just barely flying over their head and they redirect it all the way downfield are the difference makers so far in match number 2. AS Monaco cannot get comfortable on offense. Look at how they start to push forward and immediately have to rotate back. The flick from Mark. Monkey Moon on target, just barely missing that upper 90.
iIgnite will pop this away to the right, but Mark by 8 is right there. Monkey Moon trying to buy PlayX time to come up. He thought about it. Now he will finally turn after the miss by Monaco, and Extra has to make a save backwards. That was just about as ugly as ARG was in overtime. That was ugly there for Monaco.
Yeah, they get away with one. That's their freebie for the match. And you see Monkey Moon looking for the double tap. Doesn't get it, but Clayax wins the challenge. Marked by 8. Low and hard. Finds the bottom corner. And look at that. ARG going up by 2.
This is picture perfect placement, too. We saw iIgnite's shot that went away from the defenders. Mark knows there's only one spot where they are not going to be able to get to this. As far away from the defenders as possible. Brilliantly done there. Clay adds yet another assist. And ARG have figured it out. They have solved the puzzle in Game 2.
Yeah, they're starting to dig the hole that they can bury AS Monaco in, but right now, still a ton of work to be put forth on the field. Minute and a half of gameplay left, and that's a ton of time for AS Monaco, especially with veterans like iIgnite and Tigray on your squad.
Just seems like they're trying to go for the home run ball, bomb the ball downfield. They had an open net here that is missed by Tigray.
That is a difficult shot, though. The hard pass coming out and trying to line it up from that far away. Your angle has to be perfect, but how about that angle? Almost finding it.
Tigray's got to be wondering what else he has to do. Marked by 8 will get credit for this one, a laugher that finds its way in from 3/4 down the field.
And those are going to just happen. You got to brush those off if you're AS Monaco. Down by 3 goals, 1 minute to go. This is the territory where you see so many teams fail to tie the game up.
Marked by 8. To kill a little more time in the final minute, ARG firmly in control, looking to tie up this series. This ball will drop down. The only question seems to be now, how many more will ARG add to the tally? Monkey Moon set one up, almost volleyball style for Marked by 8. That is floating towards the net, but iIgnite will make a clear, not a save. Now Monkey Moon, another one dropped in, and Monaco just got to be wondering how much longer. Sure, it says 20 seconds on the scoreboard, but it seems to be going at a glacial pace as they continue to be stifled at midfield.
Well, it's easy to do when the shots are coming from midfield. It's so easy to defend because you have a ton of time to get back in net and position yourself correctly. Right now, every single shot we've seen in this match from AS Monaco have been from so far away that even if no one's in net for ARG, they have time to get back on defense, push the ball to the corner, and start offense for themselves. ARG tie it up and just making a statement in game number 2 with the shutout over AS Monaco.
It is weird to see Monaco struggling on the offensive end given the season that they've had, but even more bizarre to see them give up 3 goals in a game to ARG, a team that we've seen over the past couple of seasons, Subi. They have struggled to find the net, not to get shots. They usually get plenty. They got plenty in that last game. But actually finding the net, they don't do that so often, and Monaco didn't stop them at all.
No, yeah, when you're looking at Clayax and Marked by 8, 12% shooting accuracy, 11% shooting accuracy. That's what I was wondering about when we were looking at this matchup throughout the week. Like, is this going to be an issue? Because so many times we've seen open nets or at least open windows for ARG and they just miss their target. But the difference maker has to be Clay by X, or that's Marked by 8, not Clay. But how about Clay X? We'll go with that. But Clay X, 13 assists on the season. He's finding Monkey Moon anywhere he is. He's just calling it out. Hey, I'm way forward left, and somehow Clay X is hitting him. Stop laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you, Subi.
Oh, you're laughing with me?
I'm laughing with chat, that's all.
Oh, fair
We're
enough.
underway in Game 3. It is a tiebreaker here with the teams tied at 1 apiece. Tigray off of Extra, now iIgnite. 1-on-1 against Clay X. Now Extra around the corner trying to drop one down, and Clay X is going to beat him to the mark. And that is how we get underway with this third game. Good challenge by Clay, but even better awareness by Extra, not giving ARG time to start getting set up on the orange half of the field.
Yeah, and Tigray just coming out of nowhere to break up that passing play. Well done from him. Clay X lets that ball get away, though 50 is won by him, and Monkey Moon there to clean up the slop. Push this ball into the orange half. iGnight and Tigre both go up. Monkey Moon puts the shot on target, and the changeup finds its way underneath the crossbar.
I got it. No, wait, you got it. You do got it, right? You got it? Nope. Nope. Okay, nobody's got it. Monkey Moon just scores. There's 2 cards just sitting there in the corner. And neither could go for that. Miscommunication by AS Monaco, and Monkey Moon adds to his tally. Now Tigre for extra. That is what Monaco needed. They need this as well, and extra with a snipe to the top corner.
This is how you run offense. You put one shot in, and then Tigre looks like he's going to take the shot, elects to pass over to Extra, and Extra, the pass comes from the left, so he puts the shot over there to throw the defense off. Tie the game up quick is what you have to do in the rival series.
1 shot, 1 kill for both teams as we battle in game 3. Again, must win for a couple of reasons for both of these squads, but especially for ARG. You've watched RCD Espanyol de Barcelona sign a team. You've watched AS Monaco sign a team. And you're sitting here now in your second season going, we're still pretty good. And they're going to be looking for one of those deals. Imagine if they knock off AS Monaco as well and bring the top echelon of teams down the standings just a little bit.
Well, Stacks, we were talking about it in the pregame. How much pressure is on AS Monaco right now? Getting picked up. You want to go out and put on a performance for your brand new organization. Everything is riding on their backs, and a poor clear comes out from Tigre. Mark by 8 capitalizes and takes the lead for ARG.
Mark's 3rd goal of the series. Monkey Moon with a 2nd assist to go with everything he has done on both halves of the field. And again, ARG jump in front of Monaco. And if Monaco is looking past ARG for any reason, I guarantee you that ARG has their attention now. Tigre, who's really struggled on the offensive end. We saw him miss an open net earlier. That proved to be quite costly. That one will be stopped by Extra, and he is not going to get up the ladder in time. ClayX is already there.
Yeah, those long clears from AS Monaco were working well in game number 1, but ARG changed their game plan on the fly and are starting to defend that. So you've got to come out with something new if you're on AS Monaco. Those multiple passing plays, the first goal we saw in this game is what worked for them. They need to go back to that.
Almost a lucky break for Monaco. A ball pinballing around almost found the net of ARG off of a blue card, but instead the ball finds its way down to the Monaco half of the field. Good second touch by Tigre, trying to challenge or run any kind of interference in front. Instead, he watches his teammate iGnight take it out of the play, and Monkey Moon will casually clear this away.
And casually win that 50, but ClayX, not enough boost in the tank to challenge that ball, but he does go for the second hit, and Mark by 8 bombs this downfield. iGnight over to Tigre. Tigre on target. Can anyone get back? Yes, Monkey Moon is there to save the day for ARG.
Tigre has done that a lot this season too. His low shooting percentage is a bit of a misnomer. He does often clear the ball long down the field. It happens to be on target, but it's also an easy save, which still drops his shooting percentage down because he doesn't score on it. Now it will be Mark out of the corner. Monkey Moon waiting, hoping that somebody else would be coming up through midfield. Nobody was.
That's open.
Play only drops this down. iGnight takes advantage, and we've got a tie game.
All tied up. iGnite's not going to miss this one. Not when you leave the net wide open. A very poor touch from Clay by X to just drop that ball down. And iGnight rattles the crossbar, but it does go in the back of the net. And we're all tied up just as we near 1 minute.
Final minute 15 and counting. And a challenge out of the corner will go the way of Extra and Monaco, but only for the moment. Monkey Moon all over that play on the side. Mark will rotate out, but he got some boost on his way. So he can turn and play this off of Extra and does get that ball back over him.
Tigre's
Mark
out.
by 8. No, blocked by iGnite.
Oh, and Extra repays the favor, takes out Monkey Moon. ClayX left alone, but a smart touch up high. Extra on target, ClayX dives. Tigre misses on that, and ClayX just has to push it into the corner, and we stay all tied up.
Monkey Moon looking for one more touch, does not have it, so ClayX will play it out of his own corner. He'll go to his longtime teammate Mark by 8, but with little favorable result. That ball goes through everybody, and it will be ClayX. 20 seconds left. Overtime is looming yet again. Again, Monaco has won the last 3 overtimes they've played, including game 1. That ball off the post. Extra trying to play keep away from Mark. Big pinch downfield. Only 5 seconds left. Monkey Moon is lurking, and iGnite does well to play around him, and we're going to go to overtime again.
Once again, how close are these team stacks? You look at it before you come in, you say, no way is this going to be such a good matchup, and both teams delivering.
They did it twice against Discombobulators. Can they do it twice against ARG? Extra trying to come down from the ceiling on this. Now Tigre, he will score. What a time to score his first of the series.
Gets under the ball and lifts it over to the defender. Tigre putting his skills on display, goes far left post and gives AS Monaco the win, and more importantly, puts themselves on match point.
Make that 4 overtime wins in a row. It seems like when Monaco goes to extra time, it's not a question of if, but when they will finally break through. Nerves of steel as they take game 3.
Wow, just putting on a performance of a lifetime. Tigre coming out, and I did not think he was going to be able to lift that over to the defender, but had enough boost in the tank to continue to just bring that ball up and up and up and just go over him and almost put it in the upper 90.
For as much possession as ARG had in that game, were you as surprised as I was to see they only had 3 shots?
Yes, I was. And were you as surprised as me when you looked and AS Monaco only had 1 save?
Yeah.
Those shots just, yes, it looked like a lot more, but the shots just weren't anywhere near on target. But the ones that they did put on target, they were on target and in the back of the net. So that's got to be worrisome if you're on AS Monaco, because the shots that were coming from ARG were finding their mark.
Yeah, one of the only team in Europe that averages 10 or more shots a game, held to just 3 there. And you have to imagine if they just got a few more looks on net, they could have run away with that game, because Monaco, they did not look like they were themselves for parts of regulation. They hung around in that game, and they did, as we so often see in the rival series, just enough to survive. And once they got to overtime, a completely different team. It was a very short-lived OT, but now they are, as you mentioned, Subi, on match point and trying to start off strong in game 4.
Oh.
Tigre just floats one in. Don't think he even expected that ball to come out his way, but everybody else had abandoned ship, and now it is Mark. He's got ClayX in support. Clay coming on, and Tigre defends it well.
That was a nasty pass, very hard to defend. But here comes iGnite pushing down the field, up out of the corner. And so much of their offense is working from those corners. ARG has to do a better job, but all the way downfield, Extra making a diving save, and ARG once again on offense.
iGnite lets that ball go by. He'll need to play this or have a teammate help him out. This time it is Extra who does. Now Mark around Extra, not quite around iGnite. And iGnite center one here, he does, but ClayX is there. Now Mark by 8, does get around Tigre eventually, and Monkey Moon with a good ball to get at least to the side. Try to get out of harm's way. Clay will challenge. The ball just stays there and finally cleared out by ARG. That is the kind of defensive stand that ARG needed. Even better that they turned it into offense, and yet another shot on iGnite.
That's what they need to keep doing. That just right there. Continued shots onto the AS Monaco net. They're making them dive, putting themselves out of position. Eventually, they're going to start burying these shots. They're going to find their mark.
Now iGnite looking for Extra for one more touch, and Monkey Moon was not fooled as Extra didn't get that touch. Ignite on the backboard, so too is ClayX. Tigray plays that out. Well played over to Ignite. He'll come on and again is stopped by Monkey Moon. The defense of ARG is holding tough against a very difficult to stop Monaco squad.
Oh, good. Just leaving that from Tigray for Extra. Good communication from AS Monaco right now. They're doing a great job in their rotation. You can see the fins popping out of the water, just sharks rotating through the offensive zone.
Halftime in Game 4, a must-win in this series for ARG. Else they will drop below 500 on the season. Extra all the way downfield. He'll have to play this himself as Monkey Moon collects. And it will be cleared again by the combination of ClayX and Monkey Moon. That ball is going to angle down on target, and ClayX had to come play it from the backboard. And marked by 8, again with another clear towards Clay.
They're doing a great job right now of pushing the first clear to a teammate to try and get the ball out of the zone, but so many times that second teammate is just hitting the ball just to hit it, and AS Monaco are able to put the ball right back in the offensive zone, continue working. Right now, ARG really need to hold that ball close to their chest.
I wonder how this strategy would hold up, Subi, if Monaco were able to get some passes in the offensive end and not just be one and done with their shots. Here goes Monkey Moon, and he will leave that ball for Mark as he finally comes on. A couple of misses there in front of the Monaco net, and ARG almost kind of stole a goal late in Game 4.
Almost only counts in horseshoes, Stacks.
It is Tigray to play one over to Extra. Now Monkey Moon. He got another touch on this, and so too did Mark, I think. But Tigray and company there, and Tigray will play this as well. Coming to the final minute, it has been as uneventful as the scoreboard looks. Very few high-quality chances. This is one for ARG. Monkey Moon dribbling in and waiting for interference in the net that never came. That's well defended by Monaco.
Tons of shots from AS Monaco. 7 and only 3 on the board for ARG, but you called it, Stacks. Pretty lackluster in terms of offensive plays from both teams, but AS Monaco have definitely had the upper hand. Let's see if they can capitalize on that, though. Here comes Tigray into the corner, marked by 8 in a very precarious situation. Goes up for that, but somehow no challenge coming out from AS Monaco.
Looked like there was confusion there, whether Tigray was going to turn on it or if Ignite should come up. And now ARG, they could have the last chance of regulation. And imagine if they could score here to force Game 5. Avoid overtime. Yeah, you want to avoid overtime because Monaco, they've won the last 4 that they've played. Extra will roll this to the wall. Monkey Moon clears it away, but not away from harm. This will drop down, however, and we go to overtime again, Subi.
So, who's winning this one, Stacks?
Oh, Monaco.
Okay, that's fair enough. Let's see if ARG can do anything to stop the freight train of overtime games that is AS Monaco.
And they haven't played many more than that either. They've only lost, I believe, a couple over the course of the season. This is about the halfway point. Play X, trying to play that back to Mark by 8. This is dangerous, but Ignite did not get the kind of power he was looking for. Monkey Moon picking up a savior medal. Mark by 8, back off the ceiling. Clay X coming on, now Monkey Moon. Last man at midfield needs to play that back in, but he couldn't afford to do much more with it.
Yeah, you have to make sure he got power on that shot. Accuracy didn't matter there. Just make sure it goes back to the zone so you can scramble back to defense. He was that last man back. This ball up the corner. Mark can't read it. Extra's there. This one left for Monkey Moon. Back and forth we go, Stacks. Neither team able to break through.
Play X off the corner, but that will be taken by Tigray. I don't know how much boost Ignite has, but it can't be much. And I'm not sure he got that corner boost either. This will be played to the ceiling for Extra. He's got Tigray coming up, but Ignite in the wing. That's the option they go with. Got the bump, and Monkey Moon clears it off the line. It was starting to change colors. Now Tigray against Mark by 8. Finally, the offense is broken up. open net, and Jordan wins it. iGnite delivers another overtime winner for Monaco.
And it comes just when they needed it most. The bump plays, the skill plays, iGnite putting it in the upper 90. But did you see the wave dash coming out to keep control of that ball, get it around the defender to pass it over to iGnite? Extra. Just a monster. Just an absolute monster.
7 shots for iGnite in that game. One of them eventually had to find the net, and it did at a crucial moment. And all 3 wins for Monaco in that series come in extra time. Just fantastic stuff. Now 5 overtime wins in a row for AS Monaco. They are a team that is accustomed to playing under pressure. They didn't let it get to them at all. And what can you say? 4-1 on the season now.
Hey, if it works, it works. Take it to overtime because you know you're going to win it.
So, Lottie, we got one right. We finally got one right.
We did. I'm so proud of us, actually, guys. I'm so proud. But that statistic of the overtime for AS Monaco, that's incredible. That's amazing. And like you said, high-pressure players. That's exactly what this team is. And we've seen that time and time again. Well, to be specific, 5 times in a row. But incredible stuff from them. And I'm so glad that iGnite got that final goal there in overtime. I just think that solidifies his role on the team and how he's really adapting to the chemistry that this brand new team brings with him. Like you said, the story is quite sad with iGnite, you know, very close to retirement, but was like, you know what? I have a little bit more left in my tank here, okay? I'm gonna go over a few more boosts just to have that in the tank ready and waiting, because he really is showing himself and his ability here with the rest of his team. I mean, AS Monaco, really, really good stuff from them. And what did you make of ARG? Where were they kind of going wrong here, and what could they have done better?
I mean, honestly, a lot of the times it was just like the lay of the land, where the ball landed, just inches where it needed to be. ARG just barely out of position. I thought they played extremely well, considering who they were going up against. 3 overtimes, you're playing great. They hit their mark when it was presented to them. When opportunities arose, they were able to capitalize. It just seemed like maybe they couldn't create offense themselves when they needed to. They couldn't get the passing plays to develop, and more importantly, they couldn't get Monkey Moon involved. Only 2 goals in the entire series.
Yeah, it was important that somebody else stepped up for ARG, and ClayX did. I think he did a great job setting the table. Mark by 8 added a few goals as well. That's encouraging for ARG, but ultimately it doesn't matter if you get a big L there. And so now they have to go back to the drawing board. They're not dead in the water just yet. Look, they're 2-3, right? So they have plenty of time left. 4 pretty tough matches coming up, but they're going to look back at this one and think, man, this one got away, and they're going to be wondering what might have been.
Well, we've had some upsets, some close shaves, some sweeps happening. So I think that the standings, rumor has it, have changed slightly here, Stat.
A little bit.
I mean, looking at the top here, we have a new person there, new team, AS Monaco there, with that fantastic first place there on the standings. Flomp just tucking in their second place, and Discombobulators moved down to 3rd position with that loss there just on the board. I mean, that is actually a huge change there. Also, Method being in that 5th position too. Were we expecting this from week 3, guys?
No, and I think most importantly, what was unexpected, you look at pretty much 1 through 9, realistically, any of those teams could find themselves in 1st and 2nd. AS Monaco and Flomp sitting up there 4-1, but 4 losses, it's not counting you out, not entirely. And when you're looking at 1st through 4th going to the playoffs, you're not out of it, not by a long shot.
Yeah, and you're looking at this Monaco team now. What a chance they have this week after getting that win. A chance now to go to 5-1 because they have a B-Stream match coming up in just a little bit with Method that we're going to see. You know, imagine if they're 5-1, they're going to start separating themselves from the rest of the pack and the rest of their schedule. I mean, you're looking at teams like Vertex. You're looking at Flomp would be a tough opponent, but if you can get by Vertex and Baguette Squad, all of a sudden you're starting to see dollar signs.
But how interesting would it be if Method does take down AS Monaco? Both of them sit at 4-2, and it just makes everybody that much closer. And personally, I hope that's what happens, because I want to see it where it comes down to a single game to where teams are getting into the playoffs. I want to see how close it truly can be.
Yeah, for Method especially, and for ARG, all these teams in the middle of the pack, they need those top teams to come down a little bit, because as soon as those teams start pulling away, you really do stop looking at top 4 even, and you're wondering, well, can we at least get top 6? Can we avoid having to go through the play-in next season?
Well, if I was Method and I'm playing AS Monaco next, I'd try and stay very, very far away from overtimes, because their ratio right now is off the chain. So they're the overtime lords. That's the name I'm giving these guys, because this is too much to handle. This is crazy high pressure stuff. But we also have a second segment to go to of our show. Of course, a little bit later on, we're going to be seeing North America battle it out here at the Rival Series. Match 1 for you, we've got Linked Up versus Compadres, and then up next, Bull Send versus FMG. After that, we've got Linked Up again taking on Upper 90 eSports, and to finish off the day, we've got Afterthought taking on RBG eSports. Really exciting stuff. They're seeing Linked Up twice today, which will be exciting as well. I'm really excited for match number 2 as well. Bull Send, I'm really have my eye on them. That win-to-loss ratio, they're going to be at the top of the pack there, as well as Afterthought on RBG eSports. There's going to be a little bit of a run for the money there between some of these top teams here.
Yeah, every single one of these matches just so important on their own respect. Linked Up playing twice on the day, they could put themselves at 3-3. Compadres, that first matchup, they don't want to go negative. Bull Send don't want to lose another. They want to stay in the running with Afterthought and RBG. And speaking of those two teams, how can you end the day any better than those two matching up? It's going to be a highlight day in North America.
Yeah, every great main event needs a decent mid card, and yeah, that Bull Send match, seeing them up against Full Meta Gaming, I think that match is going to be a lot closer than the records indicate. So I'm really looking forward to that match. But Afterthought and RBG, from what we've seen from those two teams and from Bull Send, you've got these 4 teams. Of course, the Charlotte Phoenix is there. They'll be inactive this week. Those 4 teams up at the top, they may well be the 4 teams that go into the rival playoffs unless somebody else can step up. And time is running out for teams to do that.
Absolutely. Well, week 3 is quickly becoming a highlight reel for Rival Series. I mean, some of the stuff we've seen today is unbelievable, and it's only just going to get better from here. So we are going to go to an extended break now, but when we come back, we of course have our North America portion of the Rival Series. We're going to be back at 3 p.m. PST. Don't be late. You don't want to miss this action. It's going to be insane. I'll see you guys soon.
When I